Collective! Welcome back to my channel. I am the Nosy Witch and this is my channel, Nosy Witch Tarot. This reading is going to be titled, Who Cannot Stop Thinking About You and Why? And what are they thinking? So I appreciate that this reading might be more geared towards people who are interested in finding out about what a potential romantic interest thinks of them, what a romantic partner or crush thinks of them, or something like that. However, I do set the intention that this reading can be applicable to a multitude of situations. So this doesn't have to refer to a romantic interest. This can refer to anyone who is currently thinking about you, and we will explore what they are thinking in further detail. So that means, this could be a friend, a family member, a colleague, an acquaintance of some kind. It can really be anyone. So just a little heads up, if I say something and, it doesn't apply to your situation, because I am giving an example of somebody who has a crush on somebody else, or an example of the two of you going on a date, and this is your family member, it's like your sibling or something like that, that doesn't mean that you haven't picked the right pile. It just means you need to apply whatever information I give to your situation. So as long as the overarching energy resonates, it is still your pile. However, if you have felt like you've chosen the wrong pile, the worst that can happen is, you just go back to the intro and pick a different pile. See which one your intuition draws you to. No harm done. Again, these readings are collective, so not every single detail is going to resonate, and that's more than okay. I would encourage you to use your intuition to choose a pile. If you are finding that you are not that in touch with your intuition for whatever reason today, you are more than welcome to use a random number picker online in order to pick a pile for you. If you are finding that none of the piles are resonating with you or your current situation, that is okay. I do set the intention that this reading will be timeless. So although this reading might not resonate for you right now, it could do at some point in the future. But if you want to click off this reading and go and look at other readings and other readers, I will completely understand. That is okay. You are very welcome back anytime. So I'm going to get started with introducing the piles in just a moment. I just wanted to take this opportunity to very briefly say hello to any new subscribers and to thank you very much for having faith in me and subscribing. And to anyone who has been subscribed for a little while already, I thank you so much for being here. I read every single comment that I get and I'm so appreciative of all the support that I've been given so far. It really does mean the absolute world to me. And I just really appreciate you guys taking time out of your day, out of your busy life, to listen to me and to engage with my content. It does honestly mean so much, and I just can't thank you enough. I am nowhere near the stage of being able to monetize myself just yet, but if I ever do reach that stage, I'd love to arrange a giveaway of some kind as a little thank you to anyone who's subscribed. I don't know how I will go about that, but that is something I will look into if I do start to get more subscribers and if I do reach that level where, I am able to start monetizing. But whether that does or doesn't happen for me, I am still very happy to be here. I'm very happy to hear that the readings are resonating with people and that you are interested in what I have to say. It really does mean a lot. I know I keep saying it, but it's true. So yeah, I just wanted to say thanks again. It has been hard for me to put myself out there like this, so I really do appreciate all the kind words, all the support, all the feedback. And yeah, just thank you so much for being here. Without giving too much unnecessary information, I've had one or two emotional wobbles in the past few weeks in terms of self-doubt and me wondering whether I should be putting the content I'm putting out there like this, and just wondering if, it's helping anybody, because that's all I want to do. So any and all of you who have confirmed that you do like the content in any capacity, even just a simple thumbs up, a simple like, I have taken notice of it, and it all sort of pushes me into creating more content like this. And again, like I think I have done a community post about this before, and I don't expect too many people to engage with it because I don't have too many subscribers just yet. So it's understandable that my posts probably aren't going to be prominent in people's feeds. But if you did see that post, or if you want to go back and comment anything on it, I was basically asking what readings you would like to see from me going forward, because that's a way that I can maybe give back. I can't give back in a material sense just yet because I'm not monetized, but the least I can do is ask you what content you're interested in and what you would like to see going forward. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to take those on board and try to implement your ideas into my readings. Anyway, I am actually feeling much better this specific week, and I honestly think that it's due to us getting closer to spring and closer to those longer days and the lighter days. I know this is quite a divisive opinion, but I am very much a summer loving person. I know that there's a lot of people who don't like summer because of the heat and being sweaty and being sticky, and I do get that. But as somebody who lives in the north of England in a colder climate, I really do struggle in winter with things like, seasonal depression and just generally feeling not the best. So I absolutely adore it when it starts getting lighter and we start getting a little bit more sun. It's still been quite cold today, but we are getting a bit more sun and I just love it. I'm just here for it. I just start feeling like a person again when we start getting into spring. The dark, cold months do absolutely nothing for my vitamin D deficiency, so I'm very happy when I get to bask out in the sun like a lizard on a rock. So I'm really looking forward to doing that in the upcoming months. And I'm overall just feeling a little bit happier and a little bit brighter, so I hope you're feeling the same way. But if not, if you're still having a hard time or you're going through a hard time, I hope to be there for you with this reading and provide some clarity and provide confirmation of what your intuition already knows, because that is what these readings are about ultimately. I shouldn't be telling you anything that your intuition hasn't already picked up on. This is just confirmation that whatever you are picking up on isn't all in your head, and that should be a source of reassurance, comfort, and empowerment for you. That is all I want to do with these readings. However, if you feel like these readings could be damaging to your emotional or mental health in any way, then please take a step back. Please wait until you are in a better place in order to come back to this reading. So anyway, with that out of the way, on to the little bits of information about the reading. As usual, in the first portion of your reading, well, actually, let's start by saying you are going to pick from one of these 4 piles. Once you have picked your pile, please look at the description or the comment that I will pin in the comments below, and that will have the timestamps which will take you to your reading. As usual, your reading will be split into 2 main portions. The first portion will be your oracle reading, where we will look at a few oracle cards. Again, any decks used will be linked below in the description. Then we will move on to the tarot portion of your reading, which should be a little bit more information. We will elaborate on the overarching energy, and we might go into a little bit more detail regarding who this person is, who's thinking about you, and any interactions between the two of you, the connection you might share with them. That is something we will cover in the second portion of the reading. I may roll the astro dice at some point, and I may give a little bit of closing advice, but I've not fully decided which oracle deck I'm going to use for that yet, so we will just wait and see, but that is what's happening in the upcoming reading. Oh, also off topic, but I've just noticed these little specks on the desk. I assure you the desk isn't dirty, so please try to ignore those specks. I have cleaned the desk, but I do a lot of other activities using this desk. I paint nails and do bits like that. So although it has been cleaned, there are remnants of products that I've been using, because sometimes I forget to put a mat down. So sorry about that if that is distracting you in any way. It's just something I noticed then, so I felt the urge to say it. But yeah, just letting you know that the desk has been fully cleaned, and I hope that doesn't bother anyone too much. Anyway, without hesitation, let's have a look at the piles we've got to choose from today. So over here, we have pile 1 and the clear crystal heart. We have pile 1, and the clear crystal heart. Here we have pile 2 and the turquoise crystal heart. We have pile 2 and the turquoise crystal heart. Here we have pile 3 and the white crystal heart. Pile 3 and the white crystal heart. And over here we have pile 4 and the burnt orange / red. It depends how it appears on your screen. I'm not sure how it comes up on camera, but it's either burnt orange / red crystal heart. Please feel free to choose more than one pile if you are called to more than one pile. But once you have made your selection, like I say, please go to the description below or the pinned comment below and that will take you straight to your reading. So without hesitation, let's get started. If you like this reading and if you like my style of content, please do me a massive favour and click the thumbs up button below. Please comment on the video and if at all possible, please subscribe. That would all mean such a lot to me and I would appreciate it so much. But with that said, let's get started and get into this reading. Hi Pile 1 Collective, welcome to your reading. If you chose this clear crystal heart and you chose Pile 1, this will be your reading. If you would like any further details on what this reading will entail, please check out the introduction. But basically this reading is going to be all about the person who can't stop thinking about you. So we are asking who can't stop thinking about you and why. What are they thinking about you and the connection that you and them share? This doesn't have to be a romantic interest. For a lot of people it might be, but this could also be a friend, a family member, an acquaintance. I set the intention that this could be anyone, so please bear that in mind. We are about to get started with the reading, but just to remind you, if you like my style of content, please like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Any engagement would help me massively. If you could leave a comment to say which bits resonated, that would also be absolutely wonderful. I would really appreciate that. And if at all possible, if you could subscribe, if you like my videos and you want to see more of them, please subscribe. That would mean such a lot to me. But without any more hesitation, let's have a look at the cards we pulled for you, Pile 1. Okay, so we have got Unblock, interesting. We have got Obsidian and Hellbore, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Shadow Mirror, Deep Healing, Understanding and Seer. And we have the Trout and Lily of the Valley, Purification. Okay, so firstly, the overarching energy that I'm sensing is that this is or was a very intense, emotionally intense connection. So I don't think this is an extremely new person. If this is a very new person, it's like the emotions between you and this person have become quite intense quite quickly. But for the most part, I think this is probably going to be somebody who has been in your life for a good while, or you know on a slightly deeper level, something that's deeper than surface level at the very least. So potentially somebody who you do have a little bit of history with, whatever that history may be. Someone where there's already this pre-established connection of some kind. And I'm really getting the sense that the two of you trigger each other. I'm just going to say it, like the two of you have in the past or are currently triggering each other in some way because you are each other's mirrors. However, within this connection, it could be the case that although you mirror each other in terms of like thoughts, feelings and behaviours, it could be that one person is more healed than the other person and that this is what has caused a lot of problems within this connection. Because with this shadow mirror, deep healing showing up, it's like there is kind of this mutual understanding. It could be that one person in this connection has done more of their inner work And I'm not saying that it has to be you. It could be that you both still need to do a lot of inner work. But I would say that if you have been working on yourself in terms of spirituality and growth in that way, it is likely that it's you who is potentially the more healed of the two of you. I know not everybody is ever going to be fully healed, so I'm not saying that. But you have maybe done more work than this person. You've been able to do more work than this person, because it's like there is this mutual understanding between the two of you, and maybe it feels like, this person who you do have this shared history with, you've maybe been more understanding towards them than you would be with most people, because you can see a lot of yourself in them, in the unhealed parts of them. You can see things that you once recognized within you. It's like you are looking at this person, and if you are like a deeply empathetic and intuitive person, you could be looking at them and thinking like, well, I understand that behavior. I've done that toxic behavior before. I understand the motivation behind it. I get why you are doing it, but this could have kind of worked to your detriment, because maybe due to that level of understanding you have about this person and their behaviors, it could have led to you at one point sort of dropping your boundaries in some way and letting this person get away with more than what you would if it was somebody else treating you that way. Because again, you can see so much of yourself in this person, and I think they can see a lot of themselves in you, but it's like you both trigger each other in some way, because you are this mirror to each other. Because, as well as you seeing yourself in this person, they see themselves in you. Because, this could be a less healed person or somebody who still has a lot of work to do. If they battle self-worth, self-esteem issues in any way, and they still have a little bit of self-hatred towards themselves, it could be that they kind of take it out on you, because again, they can see themselves in you. So it's like when they're hating themselves, some of that anger is directed towards you unnecessarily. Like ultimately, you are your own person. You are not this person. We are all on our individual journeys, but it's like in some way, you are like a twin to this person in terms of like certain behaviors, your thought processes. It's like you've shared interactions, communication with this person that neither of you have been able to share with anyone else. The way you think is maybe just so different from other people around you and other interactions you've had. So you really feel like it's like the two of you have a soft spot for each other for that reason, because they have never found another connection that's like this in their life. And I feel like you maybe think the same. So you both have a soft spot for each other, but potentially if you're the more healed one, it could be that, you have had to forgive this person a lot more than what they've had to forgive you, because they are the ones engaging in more toxic behavior. And it does seem at the moment you are potentially not in communication with this person, because I'm getting like, how one, is this somebody you currently have blocked, or is this somebody who in whatever way does not have access to communicating with you? Because I'm getting that this person is very much thinking that they would like you to unblock them. Like, it couldn't be more clear. The unblock card is coming out. So this could be somebody that's thinking about you a lot, in the sense that they really want to see what you're up to, what you're doing. Maybe if they are blocked on social media, if you have social media or something like that, or just like you've stopped them following you if you have a private profile or anything like that. They really want access to you again, because I feel like with this purification card, it's like they want to come in with this fresh start with you. And again, this doesn't have to be a romantic interest. It could be a friend, just somebody who you have had to block at a certain point out of your life. You've had to have some time apart from this person. But if it is a romantic interest, they want to come in with a fresh start in terms of starting a new relationship, a new romantic relationship off on the best foot. I'm going to be honest, I don't know if they are at the same level as you in terms of their healing. I think maybe this person was quite shocked if they had access to you and if they lost that access. And what they really need to be doing is going deeper, looking internally and doing their shadow work. But instead, they, I think, are focused on getting back access to you. And they're thinking, They're thinking, pal one, just unblock me. Come on, let's have this fresh start. Let's put it behind us. Let's brush it under the rug. Come on, I know we can make this work. I know we can have something. If you just unblock me, like if you just talk to me again. But I don't think they've fully done their inner work in order to deserve that access to you that they want. Because when I'm pulling these messages through Pal One, I don't want you to think that this is me telling you to unblock them, because that's what's coming up on the cards. This is just what this person is thinking and what they really want. But if you block them, I know that this will have been with a good reason. With the Shadow Mirror card, I'm getting that maybe this person, if they are like unhealed in some way, they could be a person who projects a lot onto you due to their own toxic behaviour. They could be quite emotionally manipulative. They could have been a little bit gaslighty at certain points. I don't know why I'm getting that quite strongly, but it is just coming through. So it doesn't have to be this example, but I guess one example of that is, you know how people say that, like, if you're in a relationship with somebody and they are very paranoid and suspicious of you, and you haven't done anything to make them feel that way, if they approach you in this paranoid way and you're on your phone and they're asking you, like, who are you talking to, let me see your messages, they're getting overly suspicious with not much reason for this. People always say that, that comes from that person's own behavior. So it's like that person will accuse you of talking to somebody inappropriately while you're in a relationship with them, or they will accuse you of cheating when you haven't done that at all. But it's because they know themselves that they would engage with that behavior, that they've been talking to someone inappropriately, that they've been cheating. They accuse you of being the liar, accuse you of being the cheater because they can't understand how somebody like you could show up and be loyal in a committed relationship and be honest, because they themselves aren't honest. So then they might accuse you, like, this could apply to any situation. It doesn't have to be in a romantic relationship or with cheating. It could be in terms of like a toxic friendship or whatever, or a toxic family member. But it's just like this person projects so much onto you, and whatever they accuse you of doing, it's like they're doing themselves. And again, it feels really gaslighty, because you could have felt like you bent over backwards for this person in order to earn their trust, because maybe you are somebody who's been hurt in the past by previous situations. So let's use the example of, like, if this person approaches you and they say, let me look at your phone because I've been cheated on in the past, so, I would just feel more comfortable if you let me look at your phone. You could be somebody who normally you wouldn't put up with that. You'd be like, you need to trust me, like, this isn't going to work. If we are constantly checking up on each other, there needs to be this element of trust. But with this person, it's like you kind of soften. You might have backed down a little bit and accommodated them because you see them as deeply hurt and in need of healing, and you see yourself as a source of being able to offer them that healing. So you've sort of relented, you've maybe gone back on some of your boundaries, and you've been like, yeah, well, you can have a look at my phone if that would make you feel better, if that would put you at ease, if that would heal you. Here you go, I have nothing to hide. And it's really unfair, because it's like, if you were to ask this person if you could look at their phone, and I'm not saying that you would, because, I think you are sort of in that more healed place than maybe they are, but they would deny you access. They wouldn't let you do that at all, and they would flip it back on you. This would cause an argument. It would be a case of like, oh my God, do you not trust me? Why are you asking to look at this? Let's just break up because clearly you don't trust me, so what's the point? They would turn it into this massive issue if you ask for the same things that they ask for. But when they ask for something from you like that, they manipulate it into being an essential, like, you need to do this, and if you don't, you are the bad person. But they won't do the same for you. And ultimately, like, they are the ones, they're engaging in some of this toxic behavior, so they are more likely to be the ones who, are talking to other people inappropriately. But it's like they act that way because they don't trust you, and equally, they don't trust themselves. Again, they don't believe that anyone could be truly honest because they're not honest with themselves and other people. It's something like that. I'm definitely getting like this was a toxic or intense relationship or friendship of some kind. Definitely some kind of all-consuming connection, and definitely a lot of mirroring behavior taking place. And this person might have been doing a degree of contemplation, of reflection. They definitely are thinking about you a lot in terms of wanting to have access to you again, in terms of wanting to have a fresh start. Whether they are fully ready for that, whether they even deserve that, I don't know, pal one. I'm just reading the messages that are coming out on the cards, but they are definitely wanting this fresh start. They're wanting to draw a line under whatever has happened in the past and move ahead with you, and that is why they are thinking about you. And on this card as well, with the Lily of the Valley, that's making me think of like death and rebirth, some sort of cleansing cycle. But also, the main thing that it's making me think of when I saw that card is Breaking Bad. Spoiler alert for Breaking Bad. I know it's been many years since it finished, but if you haven't watched it and you want to watch it at some point, spoiler alert at this section, but Lily of the Valley, where Walt poisons Brock with Lily of the Valley, but he kind of gaslights Jesse. It's been a while since I saw it. It's been quite a long time, so I can't remember the full ins and outs of the episode. But ultimately, it's Walt who has poisoned Brock, and he gaslights Jesse into thinking that it was Gus, or Gus's men who had poisoned Brock. And I feel like on that episode, if I remember correctly, it's like the audience, we don't know whether Walt has done it until the end of the episode when it shows him looking at the Lily of the Valley. Because up until that point, I think we believe that it's Ricin and that like somebody else has poisoned him, but it's almost like we're convinced by Walt throughout that episode that he hasn't done it, he wouldn't do that, he wouldn't stoop to that level, he wouldn't poison a child. And he's almost like making Jesse feel bad for accusing him. He's really confusing Jesse's emotions. He is abusing Jesse's emotions. But ultimately, like, he is the one who's done it. It's just like this gaslighting, this manipulation going on. So it could be this person is a little bit like that. I mean, not exactly like that. Hopefully this person isn't making meth in Albuquerque or anything like that, but just that kind of manipulation. I think they are very good at convincing other people that they are not in the wrong, because it's almost like they convince themselves that what they're saying is right and that it is justified. And maybe you're somebody who hates to see people upset, you hate to see people sad. So if this person's emotions are really invested in what they're saying to you and they start crying, even if like they're in the wrong, they end up getting you to feel bad for them. So in that example of like this being a romantic relationship, it's like if this person is talking inappropriately to other people and you catch them and you have it out with them, it's like this person will flip it around on you and try to make you feel bad. And they'll try to justify their actions. They'll try to be like, well, I only did this because I felt this way, and you just don't understand. And then the tears will come and they will just drag you into feeling sorry for them when ultimately they have placed themselves in that situation. But it's like they try to flee accountability by flipping it back round on you. They'll say something like, oh, well, I only did that. I only acted this way because I felt unwanted by you, and you said a bad comment about me in February 2002. So now that is why years later I have spoken to somebody else inappropriately. Like, it just doesn't make any sense, but they manage to convince you by using their emotions and by using that kind of manipulation to make you feel a certain way. And I think because you are very empathetic, maybe in the past this is something you've kind of fallen for. And again, because you both have that like pull, you have that soft spot, that connection with each other. But it's like they use this to their advantage, and maybe that comes at the expense of your emotional well-being. So I don't know if this person will be unblocked by you, because I don't know if they deserve it. I don't know if they deserve access to you. I don't think they do. But they're definitely thinking about you a lot. We are just going to roll the Astro Dice, pal one, for a little bit more confirmation on who this person is. I hope you're enjoying the reading so far. So yeah, let's have a look at the Astro Dice. Pal one. Okay, pal one. So we have Scorpio. we have the 8th house. We have the 8th house. And we have the South Node. We have the South Node. So, you know when I said this person could potentially be manipulative? Well, I mean, we have Scorpio showing up, so, and that's not me talking shit on Scorpio at all. I love Scorpios, and I myself am a Scorpio, so I'm not going to talk shit on myself. I'm a Scorpio and I try my best not to be manipulative, but I know that the ability to manipulate things using emotions is a very sort of water sign trait. So this person could be a water sign, they could be a Scorpio, or they could have prominent Scorpio or 8th house placements in their chart. It doesn't have to be a lot of Scorpio specifically, but if they have sort of a lot of planets, a lot of energy from their 8th house, this could give you an indication about who this person is. Like I say, it doesn't have to be Scorpio, it could just be general water sign, or just a lot of intensity, a lot of things going on in their 8th house. So although I don't think Scorpios have to be manipulative, I know that we do have the capacity to be so. Whether we use this in a good or bad way, that is up to us. We all have our own free will. I feel like in the past, due to this person's need to do some deep healing and some deep self work, they have maybe used this in a more negative way to other people's detriment. Maybe they are somebody who sort of plays the victim. Like we said in the oracle reading, like if they do something wrong, maybe they will turn this round on trying to make the person who is trying to hold them accountable feel bad or something like that. But I do feel like this person is thinking about you a lot, and it is kind of obsessive. The way they think about you, I don't think they have thought about anyone else. I think you're the person who they've got the most hung up on in some way, because maybe if they are used to emotionally manipulating people in order to get what they want, it's like for some reason they haven't been able to fully do this with you. Maybe they could for a period of time, like maybe you fell for it for a little while, but ultimately if this is ended in a zero contact situation, if you have put that barrier up, if you have chosen to disconnect with this person because they are engaging in this manipulative behavior, it is like you've done what's best for you. And I don't think they're used to people doing that. Maybe you have sort of reached a point where it was like, right, I've forgiven you all these times that you've done something that I haven't agreed with. I've given you chances. I've tried to be understanding. I've tried to talk to you about it, but this hasn't worked. So I'm going to have to shut this down. I'm going to have to disengage. I'm going to have to block you. And it's like this, it shocked this person. They kind of had like an ego death because of it, because with the 8th house, you know, that's symbolic of like death, of transformation, of big changes. So it's like you shattered this person's ego by doing that. And it's something you had to do. I feel like they needed to like learn that lesson in many ways, but they just weren't expecting it. I think maybe they expected that you would put up with their bullshit forever, and you didn't, and this was something they were shocked by. But equally, it's made them kind of obsessed with you, because now the focus is like getting your energy back and seeing how they can infiltrate access to your life again. But whatever this connection may be, I think you have forced this person to consider their own personal growth and to make some changes. Because with the South Node, this can kind of talk about like our comfort zone, what feels familiar to us, being stuck in like a certain energy of some kind, and our habits. And maybe this person thinks about you in the way that they are reconciling with themselves, the ways that they have had to change due to this connection with you. Maybe nobody has sort of placed an ultimatum in front of them before or something like that. And maybe you haven't placed an ultimatum in front of them. Maybe you've just outright said, well, you know, I'm not engaging with you because you're in this toxic energy, and you've literally just walked away. And maybe that's just something that's never happened to them before. So now they are willing to do anything, including grow on a personal and spiritual level, in order to be able to access your energy again, because they know that they have to show up in a more mature way in order to be able to have that connection with you, in order to be able to communicate with you. Maybe they were in the habit of believing one thing or doing one thing, and maybe you have forced them to change. You forced that version of themselves to die, and they are like stepping into a different version because of this connection with you. Or if they haven't done so yet, that is really something that they are thinking about. They are thinking about the ways that you have forced them to change. Maybe they are thinking like, you know, I have never been hung up on somebody like this. I have never had this intense of a feeling towards somebody. I have never sort of stayed stuck in this obsessive energy over somebody. But something about you is bringing that side out of them. And it's quite overwhelming for them, and especially if they are like shut out of your life at the moment, it's like they're clinging on to any way that they can get you back and access that energy again. The South Node can also sometimes refer to like past life connections or something like that. So maybe this mirroring that takes place between the two of you, it feels like something familiar from a past life. If you believe in past lives, if you identify with having a past life, or if this person does, it's like they feel like they knew you before, like the two of you kind of belong together in some way, to whatever capacity. It doesn't have to be romantic, but it's like they feel as though they're meant to be in your life. You're meant to have a connection. You've had a profound impact on them, on their belief system in some way. Maybe you've been the only one to sort of change their opinion about something, but it's like they feel very drawn to you for that reason. This could feel like a karmic relationship of some kind if you identify as having karmic relationships. Doesn't have to be, it could just be a very important connection where the two of you mirror each other's behaviour a lot and something feels oddly familiar, like jarringly familiar. If you and this person have like looked into each other's birth chart or something like that, it could be that, you know, there is a lot of overlap in terms of you having like similar placements. Or maybe with like mirror, I'm getting like opposite placements, but with a great deal of synastry. Maybe there are like a lot of conjunctions in your chart, or just a lot of oppositions, maybe like some intense energy of some kind between the two of you in your birth charts. And yeah, I'm getting for a lot of people, it could be opposite, because, you know, people do say like opposites attract. So it could be you're kind of drawn to each other like magnets in some way. It could be like they're a Scorpio sun and you're a Taurus sun or something like that. Just, it doesn't have to be Scorpio and Taurus. It can be any placement in the chart, but it's like maybe the two of you are opposite, or you have a lot of the same placements even, but in different places in the chart. And it just feels as though there's something very familiar about this person's energy. It's like the same but different. I don't know. That's the kind of phrase that I'm getting with that. So that is the person that's thinking about you, Pile 1, and that is what they are thinking at the moment. We are now going to move on to the tarot portion of the reading, so I really hope you are enjoying the reading so far. And I'll see you in the tarot portion. Hi Pile 1 Collective, welcome back to the tarot portion of your reading. Without hesitation, let's get started and have a look at the cards we pulled for you. Okay, Pile 1, we have the Knight of Wands, we have the Three of Pentacles, we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, we have the Three of Swords, we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, we have the Wheel of Fortune upright, we have the King of Wands upright, and we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so we do have a lot of Wands and a lot of Pentacles energy showing up. So Earth or Fire sign could be significant to you or this person. Doesn't have to be. I mean, this is kind of balanced, to be fair. There aren't many Cups showing up, notably. In fact, I don't think there are any Cups showing up. So it could be that there is a little bit of emotional disconnect with this person. Maybe they aren't somebody, due to the fact that they probably need a lot of healing, maybe they aren't somebody who is, you know, in touch with their emotions in that way. But with this Knight of Wands in particular, I'm getting that this is very much a charming person, somebody who can lure people in, somebody who can act as though they're like the hero of the situation. But I think maybe in the past they haven't sort of shown up where it really counts. This could be quite a physically attractive person, or there is just something about them that is attractive. If it's not physically, something about them is alluring in some way. It's giving me like fire sign energy, but maybe with some Libra in the chart, maybe like Libra rising or a Libra sun with a fire rising or something like that. There is just something sort of bold, something quite take charge about them, but in a very charming way. Although the Knight of Wands didn't come up in reverse, I get the sense that maybe, this sort of charming personality, it borders on arrogance at times. I know that it didn't come up in reverse, but it's like this person might have a sort of arrogant streak, or they might be the type of person to kind of toot their own horn or think quite highly of themselves. But I do get the sense that maybe you have flipped this idea that they have of themselves on its head, because I think when they have been in this victim mentality in the past, and when they have kind of emotionally manipulated a situation to make out that they're the victim, maybe other people have kind of relented to that behavior and they've kind of said, oh, you're right, you're the victim in this. I'm not the victim that you cheated on me. You're the victim that I found out about it, or something like that. It's like other people have relented. You've made this person reconsider things because you have not relented. Maybe there were certain times in the past where you did, where you gave in to them. And I'm not saying it's that specific example of like cheating or something, but maybe there were times when you felt sorry for this person and you were kind of lured in by their sort of sob story and the things they were trying to tell you. But I don't think this is the case anymore. And I think that has made them sort of think differently about themselves, because now they're thinking, oh, my attitude, my behavior, the thing that I usually do, it isn't working on pile one. So I think they're thinking about that. And as well, like, I'm getting the sense that this could be a person who kind of charges in. I feel like of the two of you, you're the more sort of, I don't know if analytical's the right word, but you're the one who sort of thinks more before you do things, is what I want to say. And if there is sort of a lack of communication between the two of you in some way, like if you have blocked this person, if you don't want to engage with them, or if you're the person who doesn't want to speak first, I feel like this person is likely to be the person who reaches out to you first, the person who relents, because they're probably the kind of person who, like, if they went out and they got drunk or something like that, they would be the one drunk texting you. And maybe if they have done that in the past, or like even recently, if they've tried to reach out to you, like if they are blocked or something, and they've tried to get you to unblock them, tried to get you to talk to them, maybe you have even thought about like doing that in the past. You've thought, oh, like, should I just unblock them because they've popped up with this message? But you are more likely to sort of think of the repercussions of your actions. I think that's it. They don't always think about the consequences. They just do things and then think about the consequences later. And this could be something that, that could be the thing that they need to work on. If they have acted in a way to hurt you in the past and you won't put up with it, this could be really something that they are thinking about and considering. It's like they want to change it with this Wheel of Fortune showing up. But do they have the capacity to do that? I don't know. In this current energy, it's like this person has a lot of work to do, but I think they are just focusing on, because they have this kind of obsessive thinking pattern about you. It's like they're focusing on how to get back in your life rather than focusing on themselves and what they can do to like change the situation and make it so that you want to give them access to you again. Because they can't just come in and say like, oh, everything's going to be better now if they've hurt you in the past in some way. Like, they need to actually do the work. They need to figure out why they hurt you, why they sort of sabotage things, if they did sabotage anything in this connection. It can't just be like, right, I click my fingers and things are mended now, everything's going to be good in this connection. They really need to acknowledge the fact that they hurt you if they did, and they need to be held accountable for that. And you need to see changed behaviour if they want to go forward and be in your life again. But I don't know, with this Knight of Wands, it's like they're still very much in this impulsive energy, and that might work to your advantage, because if there is like a little bit of stubbornness going on between the two of you, and it's a case of like, well, they're not blocked, but I don't want to be the one who reaches out to them first, If you want them to reach out to you, this could work in your favor because they are probably more likely to send you that impulsive message. I think they are so obsessively thinking about you that they are the most likely to like give in and just send you something. And that could work to your advantage if you want them to. But if this is not somebody who you want to be in your life and you don't want to message them back, it could just be, you know, more annoying than anything that they are impulsively messaging you. And you're thinking like, oh, I just want to be rid of this person. I don't want anything to do with them anymore. So I don't know, it's going to be different for each individual person. With this Three of Pentacles, it's like there is potential because I think the two of you deep down have shared goals. You know, the Three of Pentacles talks about teamwork, it talks about collaboration. So it's like this person is thinking about how they see potential in you and them. And, you know, if this was something that had to end, it's like they're thinking, well, we really could have been something. We could have worked as a team. We could have made something happen. We could have both put our energy into this. And maybe they are quite sad to sort of no longer have you on their team in that sense. But with this Page of Pentacles reversed, it's like this person is still in this immature energy. This person could be a little bit younger than you. They don't have to be. That does not have to be the case. It could just be that at whatever age you are, this person is a little bit more immature. They're maybe not as emotionally developed, as emotionally advanced as you. And they therefore have a little bit of difficulty, you know, taking accountability for their actions and really admitting the part that they had to play, any wrongdoing that they might have contributed to this connection that the two of you share. And it's like you can't really progress until they're able to acknowledge that, until they're able to be honest with themselves. But it's like they're very much still in this irresponsible energy. So I just wonder whether if, you know, the two of you did establish a connection again, it's like a part of them with this Wheel of Fortune does want to make changes. They feel as though it's kind of like fated for you and them to be in each other's lives. That is something they're very much thinking about. And I think they are thinking about the fact that they may have hurt you in some way, but it's like they're not taking full responsibility for it. And even if they acknowledge that, you know, they hurt you, and even if they have really good intentions, which I'm not sure if they do, obviously it's going to be different for every individual person, like we've said. But if they do come at you with good intentions and they are saying to themselves, you know, I hurt pile one in the past, but I'm not going to do that, I don't know if they can back that up. I think maybe, you know, they might sort of have this change behavior for a month or two, and then it'd fall back into old patterns again because they still are in this immature energy. They still aren't showing up for you in the way that you need them to. But the Page of Pentacles reverse can talk about missed opportunities, like missed chances. So it could be that, you know, this person is really thinking about how they missed an opportunity with you, how you were the ultimate opportunity and they have missed it, they have sabotaged it in some way. That is very much something that they're considering. But it's like, oh, are they going to do anything about it? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're capable of doing something proactive about it, at least not for the long haul. There could be a third party involved in this situation. Now, this doesn't have to be a person, but there are a few threes showing up. So it is giving me the sense that for some people, you know, this reckless behavior that this person has engaged in the past, the way that they've hurt you, could involve another person or another thing that they prioritized before you. It doesn't have to be a person. If we're talking about like toxic behavior, obviously things like cheating can apply, but it could also be like them putting their own addictions before you, them putting a career or just another friend or a family member before you, and this ultimately hurting you and hurting the situation that the two of you share together. I'm getting that there has been like a betrayal of some kind. It feels like a betrayal of trust. Again, it doesn't have to be cheating, but it can be for some. And I suppose this is just more confirmation as well that there is some history between the two of you. It's like something big has happened in this connection. This could literally be like a separation or a divorce between you and this person, or just a relationship ending, something that has been cut off, because I think this person is thinking about how they are heartbroken over this situation. They do have a lot of grief towards it. And if you do, and you are worried that, you know, this person doesn't really care, or, you know, they don't have the capacity to care about you as much as you care about them, it's like they do. They are very much grieving it in their own way. But do I think that entitles them to access to you? No, because it's like they need to realize the part they had to play in this connection going wrong. And if they aren't doing, then that's something they need to go away and think about further. If they are not being honest with themselves, then, you know, if they can't be honest about how they hurt you, it's like they don't really deserve access to this connection if that's the case. This could be the kind of person where, you know, they just want to kind of run in towards you and draw a line under things and say, like, let's just forget about what's happened in the past. But unfortunately, what's happened in the past, they want to say that because they are the one who has committed a betrayal towards you of some kind. So yes, it's easy for them to forget about it. It's easy for them to not talk about it because they're not the victim of this behavior, even if they try to make themselves feel like the victim, even if they express that they are the victim. It could be that they're still in this energy of like approaching this situation by saying like, well, you know, we had an argument, we fell out, things went wrong, but let's just draw a line under it because really we are very good together. We have shared goals. We want the same thing. Like, let's make it work. But you're sat there thinking like, well, yeah, I'm not perfect, but I didn't betray you in this way. So saying things like, oh, we both did things wrong isn't really serving this situation. It's not really getting to the deeper truth of what has taken place. It's not really them being accountable. And for some reason, like with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, it's making me think of maybe a financial situation. So this could apply to a romantic relationship, but equally it could just be like a friend who, I don't like to use this word, but like a bit of a gold digger. Gender doesn't matter, like, but it could just be that this was somebody who was constantly trying to gain access to your resources. Maybe this was somebody who was constantly asking to borrow from you, like borrow money, but when the shoe was on the other foot, like if you needed them, they would never kind of show up for you. And maybe the one time that you denied them access to these resources, like if you said, oh, like, I'm sorry, but I just feel as though you've been taking from me quite a lot and I just don't have these resources to give you. I can't afford that this month. The one time that you said no to them because previously maybe you had sort of felt sorry for them and felt like you could help heal them by giving them access to these resources, they turn that around on you and they say something like, oh, well, you're never there for me. Like, what do you mean I take from you? That's a really horrible thing to say, blah, blah, blah. And when they say, going back to what we said in the oracle reading about them projecting onto you, when they say like, you're never there for me, what they actually mean is that they're never there for you. What they actually mean is the other way around, but it's like they can't acknowledge that. They're sort of blocked off from their emotions. So that thought process doesn't go all the way through. It's like they see these similarities between you and them, but it doesn't click in their brain is what I'm getting, that is what's happening, that they are projecting onto you, that they are directing that anger towards you because it's anger that they have actually for themselves. Also, pal one, with all the messages that I'm getting on this person about them, you know, potentially being quite superficial or in some ways materialistic, but sort of not having the actual material successes in order to be able to back that persona up, it's giving me like this would be the kind of person who is a little bit of a people pleaser. But when I say people pleaser, I think it's more towards people who don't really know them very well. It's like they want to appear as this charming sort of step in and be the hero. They want to be seen in this good light by strangers, and maybe they care more about the opinions of like strangers or people they would want to impress than the people actually closest to them, the people who are actually emotionally invested in them. This person, I don't know if you've seen that meme, but it's the meme where it's like, oh, you're a people pleaser. Name 3 people who are pleased with you. Because I feel like, honestly, people who know this person quite well, they're not really pleased with them. But it's like when it comes to strangers, this person will kind of go all out to try and impress them. I'm getting the image of like a group of people at a bar in a booth, and maybe it's a more sort of higher end bar, and maybe this person is the kind of person to want to flex because you're with other people. So maybe when the group of people are talking about like what drink they would like to order, maybe this person comes in like, oh, a bottle of the most expensive champagne for this table, please. But actually, they're using your credit card to be able to pay for this champagne because they can't pay for it themselves, but they just want to be the one who swoops in and like impresses this group of people who there's no real reason to try and impress. Like, there's no reason for this person to desperately want these other people's validation, but they just do. It's like they want to get these people on side. They want to prove that they are charming, that they are nice, even if they're not being very nice to you because they've just bought all that champagne on your credit card without asking you or something like that. And then if you try and pull them up on this, if you're like, well, you know, I can't really afford this champagne, like who's going to be paying for that? They're like, oh, come on, like they're sort of pressuring you into relenting and just getting the champagne, and they're like, oh, don't be so moody, like we're all trying to have a good time, you're ruining it, you won't let us get this champagne. And you're just like, hang on a second, it's not very fair. This might be the type of person who sort of judges other people on what job they do, what role they do, like how much material success they've got. It could be somebody who judges other people on that kind of thing, but it's like they really have no right to judge other people because they haven't got the credentials either to kind of back up what they're saying. And I'm not saying that, like, you know, this person is not worthy of respect if they are going through financial struggles. It's hard out here. I know we're all financially struggling, but most of us don't judge other people for also struggling. And it's like this person kind of aligns themselves with a sort of bougie lifestyle and judges other people for like not having some of the things that they do, but actually they're not really buying those things for themselves. They don't have the credentials to like judge other people or back up even what they're saying or what they're buying, because it's maybe other people who are contributing their money for this person to have what they have. Another example I'm getting, like let's say this is in a work situation or something like that. It's like this person, you know, we said at the beginning, they kind of try to present themselves as like this hero. It could be that, you know, they, like we said, really care about the opinions of other people. They want people to think of them in a certain way, but they don't want to do the hard work. Like they want to be seen as the hero, but actually they're not doing anything substantial to be given that title. So it's giving me somebody like, let's say you're in work and you've brought in your lunch that day, you're looking forward to this really nice lunch, and maybe this person who wants to step in and like be the hero, maybe somebody else has forgotten their lunch and this person perceives that person as like more important. They're trying to impress this person. So they're like, that's okay, we've got your lunch covered, don't worry. Like they want to step in and be the hero. But instead of offering their lunch, they've offered your lunch. They've said like, oh, can you just give this person your sandwich? Like, it's not a big deal, is it? Just give them your sandwich. Like, they need it. They've forgotten their lunch. But then they want to take all the credit for arranging that. It's really annoying. So yeah, that is the vibes. That's the kind of vibe that I'm getting from this person. Obviously, it doesn't have to be those very specific examples, but just something along those lines. Oh, and yeah, with the Nine of Pentacles as well, this could be somebody who is being quite reckless with their finances. Maybe this is somebody, it could be confirmation with you, you know, if you see this person going out a lot. I'm getting somebody who, you know, does a lot of drunk posts. So I don't know if people even still use Snapchat. I don't go on it anymore, but somebody who's posting a lot on their Snapchat or posting on their Instagram story or TikTok or something, of them doing things, of them out and about. And this could be something that's a little bit embarrassing. It could be something where they're trying to get your attention by posting about who they're with, like if it's an attractive person and this is, you know, a romantic interest. It's like they're posting with these attractive people trying to get your attention, but really it just comes off as a bit desperate, and it makes you feel as though like you kind of have one up on them in a way because you know that they're trying to get your attention, and you're just like, you know that. I think you can sense it because you're quite intuitive. So I think you maybe know that this person is still thinking about you, or at the very least trying to get your attention. Maybe, you know, even if your profile's private and they don't have access to you, it's like they're sort of showing off what they're doing. So they might have an open profile. And even if you don't follow them, I think they're hoping that you're looking at their social media and seeing what they're doing. So it's like they leave their profile open in the hopes that you will look at it, and they're constantly looking to see if, you know, you're accessing their stories or something like that. But I don't think you would give them that satisfaction. Maybe like if you share the same friend group and you are interested in what this person's doing, maybe your friend will like tell you what they're doing, or they'll share videos with you or something, and maybe they'll say to you like, oh, this is so embarrassing, pal one, but this person, you can tell they're really trying to get your attention since the two of you broke up or something like that. So maybe you hear about this from your friends, but it's just obvious that this person is, you know, trying to lure you into talking with them. But I don't think you're going to give in to that. So this person who's thinking about you, I think, you know, we were saying like they see a lot of similarities between you and them. I think, you know, this person definitely has potential and they have the capacity to step more into this King of Wands energy. It's like if they put their mind and their actions to good use, if they developed in terms of maturity, it's like they could be in this confident and more powerful energy. They wouldn't sort of act in this reckless way because they would have honed more of that like element of self-control and of being a sort of good leader who is bold but doesn't act recklessly, who has courage but doesn't, you know, just go out and do things and not think about the consequences. And I think maybe this is potential that you saw in this person. Maybe they showed up in little ways where you like could see elements of, you know, those good parts of them. But unfortunately, because they are at the moment still a little bit unwilling to do the inner work and unwilling to, they're a little bit lazy at the moment, to be honest, like a bit unwilling to make the full effort to acknowledge that shadow side of themselves and to do the inner work. It's like they can't fully access this King of Wands energy, which is a shame because I think they see you as a King of Wands, and I think this is maybe one of the reasons they have sort of sabotaged this connection, if they have done that. So it's like the potential is there, but I don't think in this energy they're in that they are fully able to step into this. And I don't think that you are willing to settle for less. And if they are showing up as less or in this lazy and low effort way, I don't really think you are going to want to unblock them or to engage with them in that way. But they are very much stuck on you. They're very much thinking about you a lot. We are just going to end this reading with a little bit of advice from the Beach Time Soul Oracle. So I will shuffle those, pile one, and we'll see what we've got. Pile one. Oh. Okay, pile one. So a couple of cards wanted to come out. We have the Golden Mirror. The Golden Mirror. And we have not enough. Okay, so the Golden Mirror says self-absorbed, narcissist, one-sided relationship, and love bombing. And not enough says frustrated in relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear/ego issues, and jealousy. I genuinely can't believe that this has come up, like the Golden Mirror, and literally we got Shadow Mirror in the Oracle. This makes so much sense, and in terms of like, you know, a one-sided relationship, you could have felt as though this has been a one-sided relationship for a long time, but when you tried to express that to this person, it's like they turned it around on you and made you feel as though like you were saying something horrible, even though this person is probably somebody who has said many sort of emotionally damaging things to you. But I think they are still too self-absorbed to see the part they have had to play in sabotaging this connection. And, you know, they have experienced a lot of frustration. And if this is somebody who, you know, in the past they have put you down, they have made you feel like you're not enough in some way, if with this person you have gone through like a phase of love bombing, of them, you know, showering you with compliments, and then the next minute kind of pulling that energy back, taking it away and putting you down, like negging you or something like that, this is just saying that the problem was never you. If you ever felt like not enough for this person, it is because they were trying to make you feel that way due to their own ego issues, their own lack of confidence. They sabotage this, especially if this is like a third party situation. and this person kind of broke your heart by making you feel as though you weren't enough, and they went to someone else and you found out about this, and maybe they made you feel as though, you know, they cheated on you or something because you weren't giving them enough. This has nothing to do with you. This is this person not feeling good enough for you and sabotaging the relationship again due to their own issues, due to their own inability to take accountability. They want to blame you for not being enough because I think deep down they do see you as like the better version of them. And I think they sort of sabotaged it because I think they know that they can't live up to the healed version of them that you are. That is what I'm getting. And yeah, this is somebody, you know, when we got that Scorpio coming through, the 8th house in the Astro Dice role, this is somebody who is very jealous. I think, you know, if they were to find out that you were talking to anyone else, that you were getting attention elsewhere, I think this is something that they are very much thinking about and they are very worried about it. But what can I say? Like, if you are getting attention elsewhere, you know, they should have thought about that before they sabotage this connection with you. Like I say, it might not even be like a romantic situation. If this is a friend, let's say, it could be that, you know, they ruined the friendship with you and you went on to make other friends. And this is something that this person is very jealous about. It's something that really frustrates them. And I just don't think they like seeing you move on and have healthy interactions with other people because they haven't been able to provide you with those healthy interactions themselves. But again, this is due to their own feeling, a feeling like they're not good enough. I'm also getting the sense that, you know, you could have felt in the past like you were not enough in the sense that you thought if you poured enough love into this person that you would be able to heal them. And when they did whatever thing this was to betray you, it feels as though that sort of knocked you down because you were like, well, why wasn't I enough? I thought that my love would, you know, be able to heal this person. I just want to say that any way that this person has sabotaged this connection, again, it's due to this person's own actions. There is nothing that you could have done to change this person's free will. There is nothing that you could have done to change the outcome of this situation. If this person was intent on sabotaging, then that is on them. It is nothing to do with you, what you did, what you didn't do. This is all something that needs healing within them, but they need to do that inner work. They cannot rely on you to do it for them. Even if that's something that you wanted to help them with, you cannot do the work for them, and that is something that they need to know. That is what I am getting for you, Pal One. I really hope this reading resonated. If it did resonate, please like the video, please comment, and if at all possible, please subscribe. That would all mean the absolute world to me. Again, I really do appreciate you being here and I appreciate you listening, and I just hope this reading offered some comfort and a source of empowerment to you going forward in this connection. Okay, thank you very much, Pal One. I'll see you in the next one. Hi, Pal 2 Collective. If you chose this turquoise blue crystal heart and you chose Pal 2, this will be your reading. This reading is titled Who Cannot Stop Thinking About You and Why? What are they thinking? So as I said in the intro, and if you do want further details on what this reading will entail, then please check out the introduction. But this doesn't have to be just a romantic interest. This can be anyone. For some people, it might lean more romantic, but take what resonates, leave the rest. I am about to get started with this reading in just a second, but I just want to take the opportunity to thank everyone who has listened, who has liked, who has commented, and who has subscribed to my channel. It all means the absolute world to me, and I really do appreciate it. And if you do like my style of content and you do like this reading and you want to see more of these style of readings, then again, please like, please click the thumbs up button, please comment, and if at all possible, please subscribe. I would really, really appreciate that. And again, I just thank you all so much. I really appreciate you being here. So without further hesitation, let's have a look at the cards we pulled for you, Pile 2. Okay, Pile 2. We have got Chance. We have got Secret Garden, Sacred Space, Cultivate Your Space, Inner Beauty, Self-Care. We've got the Bat and Hellboy, Intuition. Okay, pile two. So, unlike with the first pile, I'm getting the sense that this person who is thinking about you, this could be a newer connection. And I don't necessarily mean that it has to be new in the sense that, like, you just met them. But what I mean is, I don't think there's as much history involved in this connection. I think a lot of this connection is relying on things unspoken, is relying on an intuitive pull between you and this person rather than things that have actually been said, been expressed. I would be very surprised if you have actually been in like a romantic relationship with this person. That's all I'll say. So it doesn't have to be new, as in like you just met them the other day and you haven't spoken. But I would just be very surprised if this has been something where like feelings have been expressed, or if this is somebody who you've got past a talking stage with. I just don't think this has been like an established relationship. It could be a friendship, like it could be a colleague or something like that. But I feel like with this intuition, it's like there is this pull between you and this person. And I think this is something that both of you can sense, because this person definitely feels a pull towards you. They feel this kind of emotional connection towards you. And maybe it's something they can't quite place, they can't put their finger on it, but they just have this sort of feeling that the two of you would click, or there's more to be explored between you and this person in this connection, is what I'm getting. But I do think a lot of emotions with this remain under wraps. I do think there's a lot of things that haven't been said. I think a lot of this connection thus far has kind of relied on, like looks across the room, certain glances, a palpable tension, but nothing sort of concrete. It's more relying on like this gut feeling. It's maybe like none of you have spoken about the ways you feel, but you both know that there is some kind of pull between you or something like that. So, obviously, with saying all that, I am leaning towards this being a more romantic thing, but it certainly doesn't have to be. If you aren't interested in looking for a romantic relationship, if you just want something platonic, this could just be a sense of feeling connected with somebody, feeling intuitively pulled to somebody in terms of a friendship, just feeling like although the two of you don't know each other very well, you would really click. You feel like this is somebody who you could go out and do things with, and they feel the same about you. It's like even though you maybe aren't that close, you don't know a great deal about each other's lives, each other's backstory. It's this sense that you kind of understand each other, you just sort of fit into place together. Again, doesn't have to be romantic, it could be a friendship, but it's just sort of that kind of feeling. It's like you don't know this person very well, but you both feel as though you've known each other for a lot longer than what you have. I think there is this sense of deeper understanding, of like this deep knowing that doesn't have to be said. With the Secret Garden card showing up, I feel as though this person sees you as quite mysterious, and maybe they are also quite a mystery to you. It's like, just like I said, there is a lot to be uncovered. There's a lot of secrets. There's a lot that the two of you don't know about each other. And maybe both of you feel like, if you are both quite introverted people, maybe you are kind of both feeling this tension of some kind, or this need to kind of take things further. But maybe neither of you are willing to kind of make the first move and sort of reveal your hand, because maybe both of you are like doubtful about kind of whether you can trust your intuition, whether this is all in your head, whether this other person kind of is feeling the same way towards this connection, whether they want to get to know you further. And if you're both sort of quite secretive, maybe both of you like just don't give much away. You both could be people who, like, you are quite difficult to get to know. And this could even be something like maybe the both of you are being a little bit stubborn on like who's going to add who first on social media or something like that. And maybe you both have private profiles. So you're both sort of doing yourself a disservice in a way by not allowing each other to see each other's profiles, because then you could kind of have like a glimpse into their life and they could have a glimpse into yours. But it's like, because there is this underlying tension that is just in the atmosphere, it's not spoken, but it's picked up on by both of you. It's like It would feel as though somebody is giving away their hand by adding the other person on social media or something like that. It doesn't have to be that example exactly. Obviously, you could already have each other on social media. This could be in terms of like talking first, who says hi to who first, little things like being a little bit stubborn in that regard, because to both of you, I think it feels like a massive deal, even though with anyone else, like it's not that big of a deal to just say like, hi, how are you today? But with this person, because of this sort of sense of underlying tension, it feels like a bigger deal than what it is what I'm getting. And the sacred space card is also the reason I mentioned being introverted, because this could be a person who it's quite hard to kind of spend time with them. Because let's say you are colleagues or something like that, this might be the kind of person who doesn't attend work functions. They really value their own time, their own space. And I think you are maybe like the same way. Maybe you don't go out as much as you used to, or you don't really go out, and it can be quite hard to meet people and feel this sense of connection so strongly that you seem to with this person. So I think for that reason, it kind of makes it difficult to like even put yourself in a position where you would be able to get to know this person better, because normally, you know, if you maybe like had a crush on somebody in the past and they were in your friendship circle, you could say to your friend like, oh well, don't say that I said anything, but if we go out as a group, why don't you try and invite this person and maybe I can get to know them a little bit better that way, like if you're a bit shy or something. But with this person, it's hard to manipulate that situation to take place, because maybe they don't really go out very much. They are a big fan of alone time, of having their own space. Maybe they're home and, you know, just being by themselves is very important to them. And maybe you are very much the same way. Maybe you like your alone time. Maybe you are somebody who feels quite overstimulated by the external world. You're not overly social. Like, I'm sure you have your friends and stuff, but you're not like the type of person maybe who's wanting to go out every weekend, because you really value having that time by yourself. And maybe, you know, due to the fact if this person, they can sense that about you, but if this person is also the same way, it's therefore quite hard to set up a time when the two of you could get to know each other without outright, you know, exposing that there might be some feelings there. Like, I feel like both of you don't really want to do that. I feel like also this person, I don't know why I'm getting this message quite strongly, but they might be a person who kind of prides themselves on not getting caught up in looks in terms of like a romantic relationship. So they could be the kind of person who's like, oh yeah, well, if I see a pretty guy or if I see a pretty girl, like I think they're attractive, but it doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't mean I want to pursue them. But I get the sense that they are thinking about you because there is something about you that they find so beautiful and attractive, but it's like the inner beauty shines through as well. You could be somebody who really makes a lot of effort in your appearance and the way you come across, but also you might have done a lot of inner work on your emotional health, and I think that shines through, like the inner confidence kind of comes through in a way. It's giving me like Taurus or Libra vibes, because I feel, and I'm getting the word like soft girl as well, so I don't know whether you are somebody recently where you have identified as being in like your soft girl or your soft boy energy or something like that. Maybe this person is like a soft boy or girl, I don't know, but that is coming through. But just with this inner beauty and self-care coming through, it just makes me feel as though you are somebody who really like takes care of yourself, and that is something that this person thinks about you. It's like they can see it radiating from inside you. And it could just be something like if they've been in your vicinity, you know, maybe they're not usually the type of person who gets lured in by beauty, but there is just something about being around you. It could be like just the energy that you give out, the things that you radiate when you're in this person's presence, even your smell or something like that. If you take a lot of care over your appearance, of looking nice, of smelling nice, if you are on top of your hygiene game in that way, it's like this person has noticed this and that's something that they can't stop thinking about. And maybe they're a little bit like, you know, why am I so sort of drawn to this person? I don't normally get like this, just over a pretty face or a pretty body or something. But with you, it's like, I don't know, they are feeling it on this more intense level. And I think they're wondering why. But I don't think you know any of this. I don't think this has been expressed at all, although you might feel as though there is like something with this connection. I don't think you know that they feel this way about you, that they're actually kind of thinking about you quite a lot in that way. You could have sensed that there's something between the two of you, but maybe you're thinking like, oh, is it all in my head? Am I just making this up? Well, I don't think you are. I think this person is definitely thinking this. Another confirmation could be like cultivate your space. It could be that, this person or you could be in some kind of interior decorating field, or you could just enjoy cultivating your space in terms of your home, or you could be somebody who is very house proud, or you like to keep your home clean and tidy. You like to have a certain aesthetic. Maybe that is something you are focusing on at the moment. It doesn't have to be the case. It's just a little bit of extra confirmation if that does apply. I think this person who is thinking about you as well with this bat, it's making me think of like a cave. So they could have like a man cave or a woman cave or something. It is maybe somebody who likes to sort of shut themselves off from going outside. Maybe they are somebody who spends a lot of nights isolating by themselves. I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think they're like lonely. I think they enjoy that time to themselves. Like they don't need to be going out all the time. It may be similar to you. But for that reason, it is kind of hard to like figure out what that person is doing. For some reason, I'm getting the image of like the two of you are both, in your own separate houses and it's nighttime. And maybe the two of you, this is something you usually enjoy, like being by yourself. You're alone at your house. This person is alone at their house. And I'm getting the sense of both of you kind of thinking about each other at night, like when you're led in bed or something, you pop into each other's minds and you're both sort of thinking, oh, what is that other person doing? Or because, there is this element of mystery, this element of something being secret. Maybe both of you are thinking like, oh, what is that person doing right now? Like, I wonder what they do at this time of night when I'm led in bed doing XYZ, when I'm reading a book, when I'm watching TV. I wonder what this person's doing. Like, and you're trying to sort of picture them in their house and they're doing the same with you, but neither of you will really like say anything about it. That's what I'm getting. And another bit of confirmation, if this applies, with the chance card, I'm getting that this could have felt like a chance meeting or a chance connection of some kind. Like it could have easily gone a different way. This person, you could have never crossed paths. But now that you have, it's like it's having this bigger impact than what either of you thought. So let's say, like, if this is, not a stranger, I don't think it's a stranger, but somebody who you don't know very well. Let's say that you were out with your friends and you were supposed to be going to one particular restaurant or bar or something that night. And then, you all had your heart set on it and you found out that bar or restaurant was closed and you had to go somewhere else. It's like just by chance, the place that you went to, you ended up bumping into this person and maybe you and them and your friends like ended up having a really good night together, but it all felt very by chance. It felt coincidental. It could have easily gone a different way. You could have never met them, but they just happened to cross paths with you and you shared this sort of unspoken understanding, this unspoken connection. So if this is like a colleague or something, equally, it could have been the case that like you were supposed to be in one department and you got transferred to this different apartment just by chance, or this other person did, and that's how you happened to meet them. But it, again, could have easily been like you'd never even met if that hadn't have happened. So in a way, it kind of felt fated. I think both of you are thinking that this connection, there is like an element of fate, how you could have so easily not met, but you did, you crossed paths, and now there is this something, but neither of you have really explored what it is. So that is what I am getting for you, pile 2. I think we are just going to close the oracle portion of the reading by looking at the astro dice, and then we will move on to the tarot portion of the reading. So please bear with me, we'll have a look at the astro dice now. Pile 2. Okay, pile 2, so we have Sagittarius. We have Sagittarius. We have Saturn. We have Saturn. And we have the 5th house. The 5th house. So with Sagittarius coming through, it's giving me the idea of like higher learning. So it could be This could be confirmation if you have met this person or if you've become familiar with this person through like a higher learning institution, like college or university or something, or if you have done a course at work. It could be that you have become expansive, you have expanded your skill set, and you have met this person through that. It could be that, they have Sagittarius placements or you do. That could be further confirmation, but it doesn't have to be. This person or you could be quite like philosophical. With Saturn showing up, it is making me think of potential workplace. So it could be Capricorn energy for you or them coming through with Saturn showing up. But it could be that it feels as though there is a restriction in place of some kind with this connection, like maybe due to, you or this person being in a higher position at your career, at your job, like being in a leadership position and feeling as though they can't sort of cross those boundaries, or they can't maybe say something about how they feel due to this position that they're in. With the fifth house showing up, this can talk about pleasure, it can talk about hobbies, creativity. It's a Leo house, so Leo could be significant for either of you. Doesn't have to be, but yeah, it could be that you share similar hobbies with this person, maybe some hobbies that you don't even know about at this stage if you haven't talked too deeply about that kind of thing. I think this is somebody who you have the potential to have some quite deep discussions with, but maybe neither of you have kind of crossed that barrier just yet. I think you maybe sense it about each other, but you haven't sort of gone into those more in-depth conversations. Maybe this person or you creates something, and it could even be that they're thinking about approaching you if you have a creative endeavor, like if you sell something, if you have your own business. It could be that this person has thought about approaching you through that business, like they've thought about purchasing one of your products just as an opportunity to speak to you or to get to know you better or something like that, or as an opportunity, like an excuse to talk to you, just to ask you about the creative endeavors that you engage with. With it being a pleasure house as well, it could be, that this person has thought about giving you pleasurable experiences in some way. I'm just going to leave that one for your own interpretation. So, yeah, that is what I will say about that. That is what I am getting for you with the roll of your Astro Dice Pile 2. We are now just going to move along and look at the tarot cards we pulled for you, so please bear with me. Hi Pile 2 Collective, welcome back to the tarot portion of your reading. Without hesitation, let's get started and have a look at the cards we pulled for you. Okay, Pile 2, we have the King of Wands, we have the King of Cups, we have the Knight of Cups in reverse, we have the Moon, we have the Three of Cups in reverse, we have the Seven of Cups, we have the Seven of Pentacles, and we have the Nine of Cups. Okay, so Pile 2, notably, there is a lot of Cups energy coming through here, and that is unsurprising, I suppose, given what we said. But just to note, like, obviously the Cups, they symbolize emotions. Cups is not air energy, air is about communication. So this energy is very much concentrated on, the emotions behind this person's thought processes and yours. It's like there is, again, just basically what we said in the oracle reading. There is a lot of things that remain unspoken between the two of you, especially with this Moon card. There is a lot being held back. I think, this person is more emotional about you than what you know. They are sort of keeping this little, and I want to say crush because I think for most of you, this is like a crush of some kind. I think they are keeping this crush quite hidden. And if you are a sort of intuitive and empathetic person and you can pick up on energies and on vibes, you might sort of know deep in your gut that there is something between you and this person. But sometimes you're sort of doubting this connection. You're thinking, well, nobody said anything. Like, I get this vibe, I get this weird vibe when I'm around this person. I feel this sort of intensity, I feel this feeling, and I can't really pinpoint what it is. But you know that something is happening, but it's like it's not being said. This person is keeping a lot from you. I think they do think about you more than what you think. It could be that when they're in private, they like, you might think that they don't think about you as much as what you think about them, but it could be that in private when they're alone, because I get the sense that this person does sort of isolate themselves, especially with this Three of Cups in reverse. This speaks about solitude. So I think this person is alone a lot, and I think that when they are alone, maybe they are looking you up on social media, maybe they are trying to find out what you're doing. If you don't have social media, or if your profile is private and they can't access you, or even if they can access you, like they follow you, but you just don't post that much or something like that, it could be that this person is constantly wondering what you're doing. It could be that it feels like you are a mystery and this person thinks about that a lot. I think with this King of Cups, it's like this person, I think they are wondering why they are so drawn to you, because I do still get the sense that the two of you don't really know each other that well. Like, I think, this could be a mutual friend who you've only met like once or twice through a friend, or it could be a colleague that you're around sometimes but you don't speak to very much, or just somebody in the community like that who you don't have a lot of, deeper conversations with, but it's like the two of you connect in some way. And I think this person doesn't often feel like that about people. Maybe this person is somebody who is very independent and they're used to being in solitude, they're used to spending a lot of time on their own. So maybe they weren't really expecting this when the two of you had this chance encounter, but it's like there's something about them that's devoted to you. Like, there's something about them that feels very protective over you. And I think it makes them wonder, when they're in private, what you're doing, what you're up to, because I think this person really has the desire to like keep you safe. I'm getting the phrase keep you safe, and I don't know why, but it's like they're just, I think, wanting to show up for you as this advisor, of this like devoted counselor of some kind. I think they're wanting to be there for you, but they don't really know the ways to go about that, because I think you're also like, you come across as an independent person, and even if, you might have feelings for this person, I don't think you're letting too much of it show. And I don't think you'd be the type of person who would play sort of like damsel in distress and, ask this person for help just for the opportunity to get to know them a bit more. I don't think you would ever reach out and ask for that, but I think a part of them sort of wants you to. A part of them wants you to ask for their help because they want to be the one to advise you, to keep you safe and to help you. But again, like, a lot of this just goes unspoken. This person could be in a little bit of solitude. They might have a bit of an unbalanced social life due to like a work situation, or it could be that, they are just exhausted, they are just tired. I think I said this was the King of Wands before, and I don't know why it's the Nine of Wands, but it could be that, this person is very fatigued because of something that they've been through recently. If they have either like left a long-term relationship recently, or just if their career demands a lot of them and they are very busy due to like, job demands or family demands or something like that. It could be that this person kind of feels as though there isn't much room in their life to be able to explore this connection with you. For some, this might be this person is, going through a difficult time in terms of a legal battle or like a divorce or a separation or something like that. And maybe they just kind of feel as though, they have to be quite resilient, and that they just don't have the energy at the moment to be able to bring somebody else into the picture, to be able to bring somebody else into their life, because all that they are giving goes to this one situation and there isn't room for much else. With the Knight of Cups, this person could have kind of been a lot more moody recently. This person could have shut down and been in solitude more because of, whatever situation is going on in their life. It could have made them kind of shut down and not be like their usual King of Cups self. They might have been more moody. They might have been more prone to tantrums, I suppose, and maybe they don't want to bring you into that. They don't want to involve you much in their life or for you to get to know them more, because I don't think that they like that side of themselves, and they know that, you don't deserve that side of themselves. Maybe they are somebody who, like, I'm getting water sign or Cancer as well, or something like with, well, I suppose Pisces as well. Well, all water signs, let's say, but Pisces and Cancer with the moon showing up. So yeah, it's like maybe this person comes across as a little bit moody sometimes when you see them day to day, and maybe that's been something that's kind of put you off pressing them for like more information if you have had a conversation with them, because maybe you've sensed a little bit of defensiveness from them. But I don't think that is the real them. I think there's a lot more under the surface, but it could be because they're going through these things in their life that are draining them and taking a lot of their energy, and maybe they just want to be out of that situation before they are able to offer you more of a conversation. It's like something feels unbalanced with them, with their emotions. I think whatever situation is going on in their life, it's taken a lot out of them, and I think they're just kind of acting in ways that aren't really in alignment with who they truly are because of this. And I don't think they feel comfortable showing you that side of themselves. I don't think they like you to see that side. So maybe that's why they appear quite shy and quite introverted. It's like they don't want you to see that more moody side. Whatever situation is going on in this person's personal life at the moment, and you might not know a great deal about this because, again, there is this element of mystery and of the two of you not really knowing each other that well on that level. But with this Seven of Pentacles, it's making me feel as though this person feels as though they have to persist with something. There is this element of persistence, of planning something and of having patience. So it could be the current energy that they're in at the moment. It could be that they don't quite feel ready to expand on this connection with you. It could be they feel as though they have to plan for something. If this is, like a separation or a divorce or them ending a relationship or something like that, it could be the case that they want to wait until that connection has officially ended, and when they have got past that situation emotionally, when they are no longer in that Knight of Cups reversed energy, before they sort of bring you into their life, before they take further action towards you. It just feels like they are planning for something. It's like, yeah, they don't feel ready. Things need to be perfect. The situation needs to be perfect before they can approach you. And I don't think it's that you are demanding perfection, but I think this person, the current energy they're showing up in at the moment, I think they don't feel good enough for you, and they don't want to kind of drag you into this situation unnecessarily if they're not willing or if they're not able to provide all the things for you that they feel they would need to provide to show up authentically in a relationship. It's like they want to wait for whatever this situation is to fully be done, be over, so that they can focus on you. I do think that they are focusing on you a lot. I think they are kind of daydreaming about you quite a lot. They have a lot of wishful thinking when it comes for you. I think they do see potential in this connection with you. I think they are daydreaming and potentially fantasizing a lot. I think, when they're on their own, they might have daydreams or fantasies about you when they are having alone time. But I don't think it's just about the sort of physical side, because I don't think they are somebody who is completely focused on the physical. It's like because there is this element of mystery with you, it's like they get sort of excitement from wanting to figure you out and of not knowing things. And with this Nine of Cups, it's like something they think about. They could really envision a very successful union with you, if you want to call it that. But at the moment, they're sort of stuck in their head. I think with the Seven of Cups as well, it's like maybe due to whatever situation has gone on in their life, it feels as though they are still searching for purpose. Maybe they can't fully open up to you about, how they are feeling and this connection between the two of you, because maybe they just feel, I get this overarching sense that they feel as though there are things they have to do first before they are able to do that. So they're kind of stuck in their head about this connection with the Seven of Cups. They're thinking about it a lot. Like I say, they're fantasizing. And with the Nine of Cups, it is definitely like wishful thinking. You feel like a wish come true for them in many ways, but they just feel as though they can't access whatever they want that to be right now, because I think they are still kind of finding themselves, whatever situation they've been in, if they have been through emotional difficulty, if they have been through a separation, it's like they're finding themselves again after this separation. Maybe they need some time in solitude to be on their own, to think about their own thoughts and to process their emotions before they're able to fully go into something with somebody else. It could be that this person, when we were getting like Sagittarius in the astro dice, it could be that, this person felt something with you, but then they went traveling, or they went to another country for work, or they went to the other side of the world to sort of find themselves or something like that, or to follow a job, to follow a passion. And it felt as though they couldn't really give their all to you. They didn't want to get involved with you because I think when they met you, they already had these intense feelings. They already had a kind of fixation with you, and maybe they have kind of avoided you. I think they have avoided some of these feelings because they maybe knew, oh, well, in a couple of months, I'm going to be going traveling, so I don't want to sort of get attached to this pal 2 person and then have to leave them, because I think from the moment they met you, they were already more attached to you than what they normally feel with other people. So that could be something that's been a bit of a blockage. That could have been something that's stopping them if, they felt, due to whatever situation was going on in their lives, that they couldn't fully commit to making this into like a proper connection. But they definitely are thinking about you a lot. There are a lot of hidden feelings here. I don't even think that I can access all that this person is feeling. I think there's still some things that are being hidden from me. Maybe there's some things that are even being hidden from themselves that they don't want to admit yet, but they really do, feel something with you. Whether they are going to act on it, I'm not sure. I think we will finish up with a little bit of closing guidance from the Beach Time Soul Oracle. So please bear with me, pal 2, and we'll have a look at the cards we pull for you with that. Okay, please. Oh, okay. Okay, pal 2, we got date, meeting someone new, dating, get back out there, plan/set a date. That is pretty positive, actually. So it could be that in the upcoming future, this person is taking the initiative to plan a date with you. Whether they are going to call it a date, I'm not sure. It could just be that this person is doing something to confirm your intuition, that there is something there. If they are getting past this stage of dealing with whatever it was that was going on in their lives, if that has ended, it might be that soon, in the very near future, once that situation is fully over, maybe they do feel ready to take initiative. Maybe that was the only thing that was kind of holding them back, and maybe they do feel ready to sort of ask you to do something. And it might not be like a massive romantic proposal. Like, I think this person is still a little bit guarded with their energy, maybe just due to them being more of an introverted person, or maybe due to like what they've been through, they are a little bit defensive. But I think that they might be putting some feelers out there to try and establish what you are feeling, and to try and establish whether there is potential for romance there. I think they might be asking you to do something, to go on a date. This could be the kind of person who words it in a way where it doesn't sound like a date. They could word it like, oh, do you want to hang out, as if it's just a friendly vibe or something. And for a few of you, maybe it is just a friendly vibe if you are not interested in like establishing that romantic connection. But I think for the most part, this is due to romantic feelings. And yeah, it looks like this person is going to be doing something about it. When that will be, I don't know, but I would expect communication from this person in the relatively near future, pal 2. Okay, that is what I am getting for you, pal 2. I really hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did enjoy it, please click the thumbs up button, please comment on the video to let me know if it resonated, and if at all possible, please subscribe. All of that would mean such a lot to me. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one, pal 2. Hi, Pal 3 Collective, welcome to your reading. If you chose this white crystal heart and you chose Pal 3, this will be your reading. So this reading is titled Who Can't Stop Thinking About You and Why? What are they thinking? This reading can be in relation to anyone. For many of you, this might be a romantic interest, but it certainly doesn't have to be. It can be a friend, a family member, a colleague, an acquaintance. This could be anyone who cannot currently stop thinking about you. We are going to explore the reasons why, and we are going to explore who this person is to hopefully offer you some clarity. I just want to thank you all so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. If you like my style of content, please give me a like, please comment, and if at all possible, please subscribe. All of that would mean the absolute world to me, and I would appreciate it so much. Thanks again, and let's get started with the reading. Okay, pile 3. We have Escape. We have Lava Stone and Red Hot Poker. My body is a safe space. Transmuting, breaking down barriers, realizations. And we have the Deer and Oat, Healing. Okay, pile 3. So the person who can't stop thinking about you is somebody who wants to offer you healing of some kind. This might be a person who knows that you have been through quite a lot in a short space of time, and they want to come in and offer you a safe space. I think they want to be your safe space, or they at the very least want to establish this safe space with you, but it is like there could be some kind of barrier in the way. So when I say what I'm going to say just now, this could refer to your energy, but it could also equally refer to this other person's energy, or maybe a little bit of a mishmash of both. But either you or this person, you might struggle, or they might struggle with getting too close to people. They might have a deep desire to have this strong, intimate, healing relationship with you. I was going to say with somebody, but in particular you. It's like there is this pull towards you and them feeling as though you are this safe person to confide in. But equally, it could be that they or you have some avoidant tendencies. And it's like when things feel a little bit too intimate, when things get too close, this person or you might kind of abandon ship. You might feel the sense of like getting too close or getting too comfortable with somebody, and then that might make you or them pull away. It's like you need to flee the situation. And I think this is a defense mechanism learned probably due to trauma. I think with this, my body is a safe space card. I'm getting that you might have been in relationships in the past that could have been abusive in some way. So just a little trigger warning here, discussing abusive relationships of any kind. If that is not for your best self right now, please click off the reading. Please don't listen any further. But I do just have to mention it because that is the message that I'm getting that's coming through on the cards. So where it says my body is a safe space, it could be that you have been in a physical environment in the past that felt abusive, where it felt as though you weren't safe, that your body wasn't your home, that your body wasn't a safe place to be in some way. This could be you or this person, or both of you could have experienced something similar in this regard. But you might have been somebody who in the past you have dealt with being SA'd, or just the place you resided in, it didn't feel safe. Perhaps if you came from a difficult home, if your childhood was difficult, if there was an abusive family dynamic or something within the home that made you feel either physically or emotionally unsafe, or both, it felt like there was always this discomfort with getting close to people. And I think I'm kind of getting multiple messages because obviously this is a collective reading. So for some, this might have been like a family dynamic, as in your parents had an abusive relationship of some kind and you were subjected to that, and therefore the house you grew up in, it didn't feel very safe. It could also be a romantic relationship, or it could be both. It could be that the things you learned in childhood, the things you saw, the things you learned about relationships, you replicated that in your romantic relationships, and that led to you being unable to establish a healthy relationship with certain people. Intimacy might have felt like a prison to you of some kind, and it could have felt as though you could only make connections with somebody when it was sort of bordering on dangerous in some way. It could be that at one point in your life you got addicted to like the highs and lows of intense conflict-driven relationships because there was something in you that needed deeper healing, something that you learned in the past that you haven't been able to emotionally work through. And yeah, it could feel like You know, this person who might be thinking of you, this person who you share a connection with, where you might be able to have a more healthy dynamic, that could feel very uncomfortable for you because it's not what you're used to, it's not what you learned growing up. It could feel as though it's difficult to get into a relationship like that because you could always be on edge. You could be avoidant in the sense that you always feel as though, you know, if you connect with somebody like that and if you get attached, you feel like that will always be taken away from you. So therefore, it makes you escape. It makes you flee that situation before that person has a chance to hurt you. You shut them down, or you're like, no, I'm not going on this date. I don't want to get attached to you because I can see the potential. And, you know, if we become something and then if that is taken away from me, it will make me feel unsafe again. It will take me back to that feeling of being in my childhood in some way. I don't know, it's either like you replicate what you learned in your childhood, or you will do anything to avoid getting close to people, to avoid those kind of feelings that come with something that you learned in childhood. It's going to be different for every individual person. And again, this might not be your energy. This could be that person who is thinking of you. It could be their energy that I'm picking up on, but I just feel as though that is a prevalent overarching theme in this connection. It could be that if you have dealt with sexual assault of any kind in the past, it hasn't felt in the past as though your body belongs to you. You could have felt quite alienated from your physicality, and that could have made you reluctant to engage in intimacy with other people. It could have taken you a lot in order to feel safe again, in order to take back control of your sexuality in some way. It could be that in the past, you or this person who is thinking of you, you've had to flee an unhealthy dynamic in terms of, it might not be sexual assault, it could be you or this person's body hasn't felt like a safe space because maybe they have dealt in the past with gender dysphoria or something like that, or they have dealt with significant mental health issues that have made them feel as though it is not safe to be who they are. If this is an LGBT or a trans person that we're talking about, or this is in relation to like a potential same-sex relationship, it could be that this person has had to like escape an unhealthy family dynamic, like maybe if their family weren't accepting of the way they were, if they judged them, or if they were in a country where that wasn't accepted, or there were potential legal consequences for having like a same-sex relationship or something. It could be that this person or you still carries a lot of that baggage from that past, from that experience. It could be that they're not fully accepting of themselves, and that is why they can't really get intimate with somebody, maybe due to the trauma that they've been through, the influence that's been placed on them by family or by the country they were previously from, or something like that. It could be that they aren't fully accepting themselves, so they can't be fully authentic and honest and intimate with somebody else because they can't fully accept that side of themselves. Maybe this is something they are still learning, but I think they think about you and they are thinking that you are a very healing influence, and also they want to heal you. It's like they want you to be like healing influences towards each other. And obviously, I know like nobody else can do the work for you in terms of emotional healing. We all have to do that ourselves. Nobody can step in and just fix things for us. But it's like you want to be a safe space for each other in some way. Both of you are compelled to kind of confide in each other and really break down those barriers, break free from this kind of prison of feeling as though you can't truly be open or authentic. But this could be a bit of a struggle because either you or this person could kind of run away when things get a little bit more intimate. You could get scared, or they could get scared, and it could, you know, lead to these barriers still being in place in terms of communication. It could be that you or this person needs to engage in some form of therapy before you are able to, you know, fully have a more intimate connection with somebody else. But with this healing card and where it says the deer and oat, oats make me think of like, aren't oats meant to be like anti-inflammatory? And with it being next to this lava stone and red hot poker card, it's making me feel as though you or this person in the past you have been in an environment that feels very angry, that feels very like walking on eggshells, that feels as though it's very conflict driven. And you and this person on a deeper level maybe both crave this kind of anti-inflammatory, like things calming down, that feeling, that healing feeling, that being able to diffuse a situation. It could be that one or both of you has become quite conflict avoidant because of what you have faced in the past. Maybe conflict in the past, like in your family home or something, always led to like an abusive situation or things getting physical. So maybe like either you or this person or both of you, maybe you kind of avoid conflict at all costs now. Maybe you have trouble sticking up for yourself or something like that. But it's like when you are avoiding conflict, you're also maybe avoiding deeper topics and exploring your deeper emotions in relation to each other or something like that. But I do get the sense that both of you want to be this healing and calming influence on each other. You want to offer each other a safe space. You don't want to keep fleeing this situation. You don't want to pull away from each other. But it's like sometimes that keeps happening because I feel as though there is still a lot of trauma to be worked through here. It could be that you or this person has escaped an abusive or toxic relationship recently, and although maybe both of you are feeling a connection towards each other, it's like there is still a lot of deeper healing to do, and maybe one or both of you just doesn't feel quite ready to take it to that next level of intimacy. If you have dealt with somebody talking negatively about you or your body in the past, putting you down, making you feel unworthy because of the shape or size of your body, this person is thinking about how they kind of want to come in and fix that because they see you as perfect, they see you as beautiful, they see you as having like nothing wrong with you, and they are kind of angry at anyone who has ever made you feel that way. So it's like they want to come in and show you that you are really everything and that you do not have to feel unworthy or unloved. But it's like sometimes they don't really know how to express this without it sounding weird or over the top. So sometimes, they aren't always able to communicate this. Okay, that is what I'm getting for the oracle portion of your reading, pile 3. We are just going to roll the astro dice and see what we get. Please bear with me. Pile 3. Okay, pile 3. So we got Saturn, which we actually also got in pile 2, although I am getting a slightly different vibe from this version of Saturn. We got Saturn, we got Aquarius, and we got the 10th house, which is interesting because that is Saturn's natural home. So we got Saturn, Aquarius, and the 10th house. Okay, so this person that's thinking about you with the Aquarius coming through, it's making me feel as though this is somebody who you are friendly with. This could be somebody in your friendship circle, just somebody who you kind of know on a platonic level. You don't have to know them incredibly well, but it's just somebody who knows of you in that way, and it could be that you have the same kind of interests in terms of humanitarian causes. Maybe you both advocate for a cause and you kind of bond over that, and that is something they think about, your ideological beliefs. Maybe they really respect the beliefs that you hold, the opinions that you share. Maybe they really like if you are a kind of forward-thinking person, maybe they really appreciate that. Maybe that's the kind of person that they are. It could feel as though this is a person who is somewhat detached from their emotions at times. And this could also be a person who is worried that reputation might get in the way of this connection. So if this is somebody in your friendship circle, maybe this is somebody who is worried that you have a certain view of them, and that's why maybe at times you could distance yourself from them, or it feels as though they might distance themselves from you at times. Maybe they don't want to get fully invested because maybe they know that, you have had to do a lot of work on yourself, a lot of healing. And it's like a part of them is thinking, well, pile 3 has heard all this negative stuff about me, so they probably wouldn't even give me a chance. So I'm not even going to get too invested in that. It's like there's a part of them that's kind of pulling away, a part of them that's kind of detaching because they are worried that they have this reputation that maybe you're not too sure about. Or it could be if they're a more traditional person with like Saturn and the 10th house and that indicating reputation, it could be that, you know, they're worried about having a more non-traditional lifestyle if that's something that you prefer to follow. This person could be more reserved and cautious when it comes to you in a way that maybe they don't always show usually. It's like when it comes to you, they are really cautious. They want to take their time. They don't want to jump into anything, but they are thinking about the potential of this connection quite a lot. But I think they are worried to a degree about what other people might think. I mean, this could be something as simple as like if you were in the same friendship circle with the Aquarius coming through, and like if you dated somebody who was in that friendship circle and this is their friend and this person has feelings for you, it could be them worried about their reputation in the sense that like they don't want to be perceived as going after their friend's ex or something like that. It doesn't have to be the case. It could be in terms of a career. Like if you are lower than this person in terms of career, they don't want to be perceived as somebody who is predatory towards you in a career sense or something like that. I just feel like something is holding them back in terms of their reputation and how they feel other people will perceive them. Or maybe they are just worried about how you perceive them and they are worried that you've got the wrong idea about them or that their reputation isn't very positive and therefore you wouldn't give them a chance or something like that. That is what I am getting for you, Pal 3. I hope this reading is resonating so far. I hope you are enjoying it. We are about to move on to the tarot portion of the reading, so I'll see you in that section. Hi Pile 3 Collective, welcome back to the tarot portion of your reading. Without hesitation, let's just get started and have a look at the cards we pulled for you. Okay, Pile 3, so we have the Hierophant reversed, we have Temperance, we have the 10 of Pentacles, we have the Moon, which is interesting because that also showed up in Pile 2. We have the Sun reversed. We have Judgment reversed. There is a lot of major arcana. We have the 5 of Swords reversed. And we have the Knight of Wands, which I think also appeared in another reading, which is interesting. Let me just move the cards so that they are all in frame. Okay, Pile 3. So I'm getting mixed messages from this pile, but overall, the overarching energy is quite a frustrating one because in particular with this Sun in reverse card, this is somebody who really is in this energy of blocking their own blessings and being unwilling maybe to go after what they really want, which could be you. With this Hierophant in reverse, it's making me feel as though something in whatever format is unconventional about this connection. And I realize that, you know, being LGBT or this being a same-sex relationship, that shouldn't really be unconventional these days, but for some people it still is. For some people it's still difficult. It's not accepted by family, by religion, by certain countries even. And I'm not saying, you know, this has to be a same-sex relationship. Obviously, that's only going to apply to a few people listening to the reading. I just often mention that as an example because it's something I have personal experience with, but it doesn't have to be that specific example at all. This could be going against tradition or unconventional in the sense that this could be like a work relationship and one person is worried about potential repercussions in terms of like HR or abusing their authority or something like that, and they're feeling as though they can't really pursue this because of something in that sense getting in the way. It's unconventional because it's against the regulations of that workplace or something like that. I'm getting a strong message about, you know, this connection maybe being blocked because this would be something that either your family or their family would disapprove of. So, you know, if their family wants them to be with somebody who is from a certain background or a certain religion and you're not, but it's like there's this strong connection, they could be sort of going against their intuition and what their deeper feelings are really telling them. because this would be perceived as unconventional if they were to pursue you, and it's like their family wouldn't accept it. And I get the sense as well that, maybe a lot of what's holding them back, they could be somebody who relies on their family for financial stability, because the Ten of Pentacles also talks about tradition as well, and it talks about stability. So, if they are somebody who is living with their parents and this is a relationship that their parents wouldn't approve of or something like that, it could be that they feel as though they can't access you or you can't access them, because literally they might be kicked out or something like that if they were to pursue something with you. You're not somebody who they could bring home and introduce to their family. And I don't think they're happy about this, but it's like they feel quite stuck. They feel as though there isn't much choice in terms of what they can do about this, in terms of the action that they can take. I do think that they really feel a sense of balance with you with this Temperance card. I think they see you as somebody who could bring a lot of stability, a lot of tranquility to their life. I think they think of you as somebody who can offer a balanced perspective, who can see multiple sides of things. I think this is something they really admire about you. And with the Ten of Pentacles as well, it makes me feel as though this isn't a person who just wants like a fling with you or wants to be in your life for a short time. I really think they do see the potential of you being somebody who they could put down roots with, somebody who they could establish something deeper with, and somebody who has a lot to offer. I think maybe they are somebody who hasn't had this peaceful relationship before, or maybe you haven't, and it's like the two of you maybe just click and you share this connection, and they can't stop thinking about how well you kind of balance each other out. It's like in theory everything should be perfect, but there's just this something getting in the way. And I feel like with this Moon card, maybe these are emotions they're trying to put down. It's like they can't stop thinking about the potential with this Ten of Pentacles. They're thinking about how good this could be, but they're just pushing it down. I think they're just refusing to fully acknowledge these feelings to themselves, because I think they feel stuck. They feel like, oh, well, there's not much I can do about this. This will never work out because of XYZ, because of my family situation or my job situation. So I just have to push this person to the back of their mind. But that is the problem. You're not in the back of their mind. You're very much at the forefront of their mind. So this doesn't necessarily have to be the case. This could be somebody who you haven't had a thing with yet, but the feeling is there. But equally, this could be somebody who you've been in a situationship with in the past, with this Judgment card in reverse. And maybe both of you sort of tried to keep it casual or something like that, because again, you knew that because this relationship didn't follow traditions of some kind, because it didn't conform to something that the people in your lives wanted for you, you knew that it would have to end at some point. And maybe neither one of you deep down wanted that, but it's like one or both of you felt like this had to end. And maybe, if this is a kind of unconventional relationship of some kind, with this Judgment in reverse, it's like this person, there's a lack of self-awareness, I think, about what they truly want. And I think, if you have been in a situation with this person, I think there are a lot of deeper feelings on their end. And I think, deep down, there is this level of awareness that they could find happiness and they could find true balance with you. But maybe with that Escape card that we got in the Oracle, maybe they ended it. They felt like they had to flee the situation because people wouldn't approve, or they were worried about their reputation or something like that. What we got in the Astro dice, I think, plays a part in what I'm saying. But it's like they have a lack of self-awareness, because they think, well, it's okay, I had this thing with pal 3, but ultimately I have to be with somebody who my family or my job would approve of or something like that. So I'll just be with somebody else and we'll have this kind of happy existence. But they're not happy. Maybe, even if they're with somebody else and it's more in line with like a conventional relationship or somebody that the people around them would approve of, it's like they're not happy. They're actually quite pessimistic, and this might not be something that on the surface. It could look like, this person and their new partner or whatever are doing okay, but they're really not, because I think they keep making the same mistakes in thinking that, they will just be with somebody more traditional and then things will work out and they'll be happy. But again, they're just not, they lack that self-awareness in knowing that what they really crave is a connection, a relationship with you. Judgment in reverse can sometimes indicate self-loathing. So if this is a same-sex relationship of some kind and they come from like a homophobic family or a homophobic background, it could be an inability to fully accept themselves. And although they might really want to be with you, maybe their own self-loathing is kind of blocking this connection. Maybe things felt like they got too deep too quickly and it felt like they had to escape. But again, they're blocking their blessings because I think they feel happiest. I think they feel most authentic, most like themselves. They feel like they can shine the most and they can be in touch with their inner child most because you have this very healing energy when they're with you. But it's like they aren't learning their lessons. They maybe sort of gravitate towards people who ultimately they know deep down that they're never really going to be happy with. But it's like their own self-loathing, their own self-hatred has got in the way, and it's made it so, you know, they aren't seeing that they could be happy with you, and they're just trying to force themselves in a box of fitting in with like what their family would want, fitting in with this connection because they want to appease people. And maybe, you know, maybe it feels as though they can't afford to let go of the material stability that they have access to, so they won't fully make that leap to do something more unconventional because they're scared of the repercussions that it would have on their reputation and therefore their stability, you know, because we did get Capricorn energy coming up in the astro dice. We got 10th house and Saturn, so it makes me feel as though they are very focused on reputation of some kind. They are clinging on to their stability a lot and they are worried about what would happen if they didn't have access to this, and that is, you know, come in between this connection even though they might be thinking of you a lot. So if this is something that they haven't been able to pursue, or they've fled the situation with you, they've escaped in some way, with this Five of Swords in reverse, it could have felt like at the time they were cutting their losses because they could have said to themselves, well, me and Pal 3 had this casual thing, but it's ended now, so I'm just going to end it before things get too deep, and I will pursue this more traditional relationship or friendship or whatever with somebody else. But really, they are thinking about the fact that they are very remorseful over the events of this situation, how things unfolded. They are in deep regret over losing you. If, you know, this is somebody who you were pursuing things with and they escaped the situation, they ended things, it's like they are very regretful of that now, and I think they are thinking of that a lot. At the time, they thought, well, I'm just cutting my losses, but actually, no, they are in deep regret and they are really thinking about the mistakes they made with you. This could have been somebody who you were involved with, or somebody who it never really got off the ground past anything casual or something like that. That's the overarching sense that I'm getting from these cards. But again, it's like they do think of you in a way where you are like wifey or hubby material with this Ten of Pentacles. They see you as the only person I think they've encountered who they would actually like to put down roots with. Maybe one of the few people who has made them feel safe, has made them feel as though, you know, you can heal each other or you can be this source of healing energy to them. But it's like, part of them's unwilling to admit that, and they are just blocking their blessings. And I think they are more concerned with this reputation or just fitting in with what other people want them to do, which is very unfortunate. I think they might see you as this King of Wands energy, so they could see you as somebody who is a lot more confident than them in terms of being like a free spirit. Maybe they see you as somebody who, like, you kind of say, you step into that Aquarius energy that we got in the Astro Dash role, and you're like, to hell with convention, I don't care what people think of me, I'm going to be in this energy. And that is something that they really do think about a lot, and I think they feel bad that they can't fully be that way, because I think sometimes they want to just be that rebellious person. They want to step forward in that one's energy. They want to show some courage and really go after what they want and say, I don't care what these people think of me anymore. This is what I want. I'm going to do it. I think something they've been thinking about is getting the courage to do that, to show up in that energy, maybe to reach out to you, maybe to say, you know what, come to my family party. I don't care what they say. They're going to have to accept it. This is who I am, etc., etc. But it's like sometimes they have these Sometimes they have this negative self-talk, they have a lot of self-doubt, and they just can't sort of muster the courage to fully do that. But I think they think about it a lot. I think they have these little fantasies where they think, oh, if I could just be open about the connection that me and Pal 3 share, we could do this, we could do this. And I think they kind of have these little images of themselves in their head of like, if I just went after Pal 3, I would show up at Pal 3's work with a bunch of flowers and I would sweep them off their feet. I would step up into like this hero energy. But again, like because of the self-doubt, this is just something they think about. And then they think, oh, well, maybe one day, maybe that'll happen one day. But they are not taking sort of action to do that, but they are not really taking the action in the physical world, at least. So that is what I am getting for you overall, Pal 3. We are just going to finish up by getting some guidance from the Beach Time Soul Oracle. So hopefully that will give a little bit more clarification on the outcome of this situation. The energy this person's in at the moment, I think they are still sort of blocked from some of their deeper subconscious desires. I think maybe they aren't willing to fully admit what they truly want or go after it, but they are very much thinking about it, and I think they are very much regretting the things they haven't been able to pursue with you. So let's see what the oracle cards say. Please bear with me, Pal 3. Pal 3, oh, that popped out almost immediately. Let's see what we've got. Okay, Pal 3. We have got the butterfly, relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child, growth. Okay, so what did we say about this sun in reverse and this person's inner child? I feel like, you know, they've been blocked off from their inner child because I think they feel a connection with their inner child when they're with you. I think they feel more of this creative spark, this authentic, honest way of being. But maybe, you know, with so many of these cards relating to tradition and to roots showing up, I think this is a person who has masked who they really are a lot of their life. I think this is a person who has had to put on a persona, whether that be in a job or just in terms of their family. They've had to put on this persona, put on this mask of being one certain way, and only very few people get to see the real them. And I think they have shown you glimpses of the real them. They feel able to be authentic with you. Maybe there's a part of them due to having like a difficult past, and maybe due to you having a difficult past, you've been able to connect and be fully raw about your emotions with each other to some capacity. But it's like this person still needs to do a lot of healing because they have been masking for so long. They have been hiding this for so long. They have been so unable to discuss these deeper emotions with anyone else in their life that this might feel quite unsafe. Discussing these deeper emotions with somebody might feel very uncomfortable. It might make them feel unsafe. It might make them feel the need to kind of flee. So that is how they could have shown up in the past. It could have been, you know, the two of you felt as though you were connecting, things were going okay, and then this person pulled back, or something happened where it felt as though it felt too intense and somebody had to escape. But with this butterfly card showing up, I think this person will come into an energy in the near future of actively working on themselves, maybe accessing some form of therapy, growing in some way, because it does say relationship evolving to the next phase. And I can't sit here and say that the two of you will be together and it will be, you know, this perfect, harmonious relationship, because I don't know that. Everyone has free will, and, you know, it does seem like this person potentially has a lot of baggage, but it does feel as though there is a little bit of a breakthrough in terms of the two of you communicating. At the very least, this could be this person admitting to you the part that they had to play in your situationship or relationship going wrong or something like that. It could be them admitting to you that they are regretful about the way they acted, if they just sort of left abruptly, if it felt as though they abandoned you because they had to escape. It could be them being more open with you about this and you healing the relationship, even if you decide not to be with them in a committed relationship like romantic context. It could be that you are healing the connection between the both of you because they are finally willing to admit the things that they have difficulty dealing with, and they are actually growing. And I also feel like this will in turn offer you a lot of growth as well, because I feel like you could have dealt with some self-doubts if, you know, you at one point felt safe in this connection and then you didn't because this person pulled back. It could be that you were kind of saying, well, where did I go wrong? What did I do wrong? Why did this happen? And this is you realizing that, you know, you can't control anybody else's actions. You can only focus on your own growth and healing. And if this person wasn't emotionally available to you, maybe this is you sort of analyzing why you feel the need to sort of fix unemotionally available people or avoidant people, if that has been the case. And it could be you healing that relationship with yourself and healing your inner child due to whatever has happened in this connection, due to the outcome. I definitely feel like you, at the very least, are going to be doing some deep, serious internal healing. And this is something that the two of you could do together, potentially. It could be something, there is potential here, so this could be something that might be explored in the upcoming future. Are you destined to be together with this person? I don't know. That's not for me to say. But there is potential here. There's definitely potential for growth, for things evolving, for going to the next level, a deeper level of intimacy, if that is something the both of you want. But yeah, that is what I am getting for you, Pal 3. I really hope this reading resonated. I hope it offered some clarity. If you do like my style of content and you want to see more readings like this, please click the thumbs up button below. Please like the video, please comment, and please subscribe. That would all mean such a lot to me and I would really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Pal 3, and I'll see you in the next one. Hi, Pal 4 Collective. Welcome to your reading. If you chose this burnt orange / red crystal heart and you chose Pal 4, this will be your reading. This reading is titled Who Cannot Stop Thinking About You and Why? What Are They Thinking? If you would like further information regarding what this reading will entail, then please check out the introduction. This reading does not have to be about a romantic interest. For many of you, it will be, but this could be about a friend, a family member, a colleague, an acquaintance. So please just take that into consideration. And if anything doesn't resonate in the reading because of the context of your relationship with this person, please take it in the way that resonates for you. You do not have to accept anything as your story if it isn't. We are about to go ahead and get started with the reading, but I do just want to take this opportunity to thank you so much for being here and for listening to my readings. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much to anyone who has liked my videos, commented, and subscribed. It means the absolute world to me, and I just appreciate your support so much. With that said, if you like my style of content, if you like these readings and you would like to see more, please like the video, please comment, and please subscribe. It would all mean such a lot to me, and I will be very grateful for any support you are able to offer. Without further hesitation, let's get started and have a look at the cards we pulled for you, Pal 4. You did get one extra oracle card, by the way, so please be mindful of that. Okay, Pal 4, so we have got Locked Away, Let Go, Surrender, Release Patterns and Triggers. We have got the Quail and Gooseberry, Anticipation. And we have got the Cayman and Poppy, Dreams. Okay, so Pal 4, I'm getting a couple of different things from this card. I actually think that it could be multiple people who cannot stop thinking about you. However, I think there is very much somebody from the past who is still focused on a connection with you. This could have been a previous romantic relationship or a friendship, but I think there is a message here regarding new opportunities, because with this Let Go card, where it says surrender and release patterns and triggers, it's like you don't realize all the options that are available to you because you might still be carrying some burdens, carrying some emotions and some baggage from a previous situation that you've been in. You might not be allowing opportunities to flow your way due to the fact your heart is locked away. It's like maybe you're unwilling to be vulnerable with anyone new because a part of you is still clinging onto this situation. And you might be listening to this and you might think to yourself, well, yes, I was in this bad relationship with this person, but honestly, I'm not thinking about them anymore. Like, I don't want them back. nosy witch, you are wrong, I'm not even thinking about them. But regardless of whether you want them back or not, I'm not saying you have to want this person back and you have to still be thinking about them in terms of like wanting to try again with them or anything like that. But I think you are still carrying some of the trauma that you dealt with in this situation. So it's necessarily that you're thinking like, oh, I can't move on and be vulnerable because I'm still hung up on this person. But you could be reluctant to be vulnerable with somebody new because you might still be thinking, well, you know, I was in the previous relationship and I couldn't trust them because they did XYZ, or, you know, I shouldn't allow myself to be fully vulnerable again because I was with this person and they broke my heart. So therefore, I'm not allowing anyone else access to my heart. And this could be kind of blocking good opportunities from coming your way because there is this sense of inaccessibility with you. And I think there could be new people in your life who are thinking about you, but maybe you are unwilling to like open up to them in an emotional way. You are quite shut off. You could be dealing with a little bit of defensiveness. And it's making these people sort of worry that they'll never be able to get to know you or that you're just not interested. And maybe you are interested, but you're quite scared of getting hurt. You don't want to put yourself out there like that because of what you've dealt with in the past. So it could be that you're locked away, you're unavailable in that sense. This could also be that there is a person thinking of you from your past who was emotionally unavailable. Like maybe this was just a person who you wanted something more serious with, but they would never be that serious. It's like they could never take things totally seriously. You could never get to that deeper stage of connection with them. And maybe you invested a lot of your time in this person, but due to something that needed healing within them that they possibly still haven't healed, you were shut off from being more intimate with this person, establishing a deeper connection. And maybe this is something that you held on to for a long time. And like I say, maybe you are still holding on to it in some capacity. Maybe it took you a long time to get the courage to like leave this situation, or maybe if the two of you broke up, maybe this is somebody who, you know, you just thought you would never get over. You know, those relationships where like you just think, I will never get over this. I am heartbroken. I cannot see any light at the end of the tunnel. I feel so rejected by this person. I feel so shattered by what they've done to me that I just feel as though I will never overcome this. You could have battled a lot of mental health struggles in regards to this person. And this could actually be somebody who, like, once you feel as though you have finally gotten over them and you are finally starting to see that light at the end of the tunnel, it's making me think of that with like this rainbow. You're finally starting to see the colour in life again. You're starting to get back out there. You're looking after yourself. You're looking good. You're not thinking about this person as much anymore. I get the sense that this is somebody who, because they want to keep you in their life in some capacity, they will then, you know, be more loving towards you. They will open up a little bit more because they want to keep you stuck on them. I think although they can't give you everything that you need, although they can't provide that safe emotional connection, it's like they don't want you out of their lives entirely. And I think this person really doesn't like the idea of you potentially moving on with somebody else, you know, if you do have dating opportunities or something like that. So it could be that this is the kind of person who, you know, you haven't heard from them in absolute months. You think, well, you know, you dumped me, you're clearly over me, you're moving on, you're doing what you want. But then when you finally start healing and you finally start feeling good again and you finally start, you know, putting yourself out there back into the dating world, or like, I don't know, you post something on social media and you're just having fun and living your best life. You don't even have to be dating. It's like this person will see that and they'll want to slide back into your DMs. They try to creep back in your life. They try to manipulate you again into talking to them, into making you feel as though something has changed. But it's just because they are clinging onto your energy because they don't want to lose you, because you added a lot of value to their life. But powerful, you have to think, what value have they added to your life? And I'm not here to tell you like one way or the other what the right answer is. But I'm just saying, if you have put a lot of effort into letting this go, letting this person go, letting this situation go, I believe that is truly for a valid reason. And I'm not saying like, you know, you can't be amicable with this person if they are just talking to you and you have reached a point where you are like over them and you feel as though you can have a friendly conversation and it doesn't necessarily have to lead to anything. That's one thing. And, you know, that's absolutely fine if you feel you can do that. But I just don't want you to feel as though you are erasing all your hard work, especially if, you know, you have really grown in the sense that you have been able to transform and move on and change your life for the better. I don't want this person dragging you down, especially because, you know, this could potentially block your blessings. It doesn't even have to be that, like, you are going out and dating someone new and this person coming back into your life blocks that connection. It could literally be that you are starting a new project or you are starting a new career. And when this person comes back and makes you start focusing on them again, you could lose focus on the things that you actually want to invest in, your passions, your hobbies, your career, whatever it is you're doing that you really care about. And that could take you away from achieving the things that you want to achieve if you're then pulled back into this energy of, you know, this person who is emotionally unavailable and who can be quite avoidant. Or it could be that, you know, you are talking to someone new and you see the potential of that connection and you are interested in dating again. And this person is coming in distracting you because they don't want to see you with anyone else. They almost like don't want to see you happy with somebody else, even though they weren't making you happy either. They just want to be able to take from you and be able to have access to you. And they know that if you're in a happy, healthy relationship with somebody else or you're doing something else that you're passionate about, they know that you won't be able to fully give them that time, and they hate that. With this quail and gooseberry card and anticipation, this person is thinking a lot about what you're going to do next. So if they have felt as though, you know, you've finally gotten over them and they can sense that you've pulled away from them in terms of your energy, you're no longer thinking about them, if they can pick up on that, it's like they're worried about it and they're wondering why. And this might have meant that they reach out to you, they start communicating with you because they're thinking about you a lot and they're, you know, wondering what you're up to. But it's also like they're kind of on tenterhooks, wondering like whether you're going to, if they don't have that much access to you, like if you talk in a slightly friendly way or you don't talk but they just see you on social media or something like that, it could be that they're in anticipation of what you're going to do next in terms of a relationship. They are hugely worried about you popping up one day on social media and putting a picture of yourself and the new person that you're in a relationship. That is something that they are on edge about because they really don't want that to happen, because they know that if you are happy with somebody else, then it will be fully over between you and this person, and they really don't want that. With this dreams card, it's making me think that this person has been dreaming about you a lot. If you have dreamt about them, or you have dreamt about the time when, you know, if you did have a relationship with them in the past, if you have had a few dreams recently about those times, whether they be good or bad dreams, it's because you're picking up on this person's energy that they are dreaming about you a lot. Maybe they're thinking like, oh, Pal 4 was the person of my dreams, and now they're in regret. Now they're in regret over losing you, but you've got to think, Pal 4, why are they in regret now when they weren't in regret at the time? They wanted to do what they wanted to do. They wanted to go and live their best life. They didn't care how you felt. They didn't care that you saw potential in the connection, but now you have pulled your energy away. They suddenly care. They're suddenly in regret. And it's just because, you know, they can't have access to you, and that is just something they're going to have to sit with. They need to be accountable for their own actions. And, you know, just now, if they are just saying to themselves, Pal 4 is the person of my dreams, why are they only discovering that now when you gave them the opportunity to see that all along? You could have done a lot for this person. You could have really invested time, money, your energy into this person, and they didn't see it then. So why is it okay for them to swoop back into your life and try and get you to talk to them and engage with them now when they weren't willing to do that before? As well, with like poppy, and you know, like poppy being associated with opium, I don't know why, but it's making me feel as though maybe this person has battled like addiction in the past. It doesn't necessarily have to be to do with drugs, but maybe they've struggled with addiction of some kind and maybe you help them through that or something. It could even be like just that they have addictive tendencies towards anything in life. So maybe when they go out drinking, they do it to excess. And that is something that's led to some bad situations between the two of you, but you have always been there to kind of talk them through the struggles that they've had or something like that. It doesn't have to be, but it's just making me think of addictions and like opium or something. But overall, the energy that I'm getting, Pal 4, is that you are moving on, but maybe this person is making it a struggle and they are thinking about you a lot. But don't forget that you have many other options. You could have a lot of abundance coming your way. Don't fall into old patterns. With it saying patterns and triggers, don't fall into old patterns because it's what feels comfortable to you in the moment. If you have taken steps to really better your life and to let go of whatever situation this was, it is for a good reason, and you shouldn't discount the progress that you've made in that regard, because you could be potentially blocking other options and other opportunities coming your way if you are to fall back into old patterns. If this is regarding addiction of any kind, maybe you didn't like the kind of person you were when you were friends or when you were in a relationship with this person. Maybe if they caused you to depend on drinking a lot to have a good time. Maybe if they encouraged you to drink to excess or to take drugs and that's not really something that you actively wanted to do. This could be in relation to that. And maybe you've worked really hard to overcome that. But the anticipation card on your end, this could mean, again, that lots of exciting opportunities could be heading your way. Anticipation can be a good thing. It can get us geared up. It's like you're gearing up for something big. Something exciting could be heading your way. So don't let this person who couldn't show up for you at the time that you needed them to pull you back into any negative patterns or energy, because good things could be awaiting you and you are on the right path. But I think you need to fully let go of whatever patterns or situations have happened in the past that have brought you down. Okay, that is what I am getting for you, pal 4. With the oracle reading, we are just going to roll the astro dice, so please bear with me, and this should be further confirmation of the energy we are getting. Pal 4. Okay, pal 4, so we have Taurus. We have Taurus. We have the moon. We have the moon. And we have the 8th house. We have the 8th house. So pile 4, with the moon showing up, this is making me feel as though you could have a lot of people in your life who have sort of hidden feelings and hidden desires to get to know you more, to establish a connection with you in whatever format that may be. But maybe due to your inability to fully let go of this previous situation, or if you are showing up in this more defensive energy, that could be kind of blocking your blessings of some kind. It could also be, if this is in relation to this past person, the moon could be indicating that there is some form of deception taking place. So it's like either this past person is trying to make you want them again by luring you in under the pretense of, I've changed and I've really emotionally developed. And I think that is just an illusion. I think that is an illusion they're trying to use to control you and to get you back, to pull you back. Or it could be deception in terms of you struggling to get over them, because maybe they are posting about what a good time they're having on social media and it feels as though they've moved on, but they really haven't. Again, this is a deception. I think they're still stuck on you, still thinking about you quite a lot. With this Taurus energy and the 8th house showing up, 8th house is a Scorpio house. So it's giving me like a vibe of like fixed energy. So it could be that, this person is quite stubborn. This past person, they are still fixated on you. Once they have their sights set on you, it's like they could be really trying to pursue things with you again, to start things up again, and they're not giving up. It feels quite relentless. It feels like this chase. It feels like, well, they've never showed up for me in this energy before, especially, if they were quite avoidant in the past. And you're like, what has happened? And you're thinking maybe this person really has changed. But I feel as though this person could maybe be quite toxic in the sense that, they feel as though they really want you now and they're really showing up for you because they can't have you, because maybe they sense that other people are interested in you or other people are, wanting to date you or something like that. With the 8th house, it's making me think that, a few people might have sort of obsessive tendencies towards you. They might think of you a lot, but this could be something that's kept hidden, that's kept a secret that you don't fully know about. It hasn't fully been exposed. The moon in astrology is associated with Cancer, so it could be that, people see a lot of potential in you in terms of you being this caring, nurturing person, having this Cancer energy. You don't have to be a Cancer. It is also Taurus and Scorpio coming through, so those could be relevant placements to you or to this person, like this past person, or just somebody else in your life who is interested in you. But I'm getting that, people really do see you as having this capacity to be sensitive, to nurture, to look after people, but maybe you feel as though you're kind of separated from that aspect of yourself at the moment. It feels as though you can't show that to people at the moment because maybe, when you showed your kindness in the past with this past person, when you tried to nurture them, maybe like when you tried to look after them, it feels as though they took that for granted. They took advantage of your kindness, your ability to nurture. It could have been that you were putting your energy in the wrong place. You were nurturing the wrong person. You tried your best to sort of heal this person and it didn't work, and this situation was kind of thrown back in your face. So it could be now that you're kind of closed off from that part of yourself and you've been a bit more unwilling to nurture people, to take care of you, because you feel as though if you do, it's going to end up like that previous situation where, people took advantage. But this could be kind of blocking your blessings, because I think people can sense that you really do have like a beautiful soul and this amazing ability to be kind and warm and loving and generous towards people, and those are all absolutely amazing traits. And if that is authentic to you to do that, I don't think you should let the situation that's happened with this person in the past take that away from you, take away that ability to be that loving, nurturing person, because then you are acting in a way that's not in alignment with who you truly are. And if you truly are a loving and generous person, the right people will appreciate that. And I think people do see it and appreciate it. But maybe at the moment you're still a little bit guarded because of what you've been through. And that is understandable. But I think a lot of people do think very highly of you, and you have people surrounding you and in your life who would really appreciate this energy more than what you know. Okay, that is what I'm getting for you with your Astro Dice, Pal 4. Please bear with me, we are about to move on to the tarot portion of the reading. I hope you're all enjoying the reading so far. I really hope it's resonating. Please bear with me and we'll move on to the tarot. Hi Pal 4 Collective, welcome back to the tarot portion of your reading. Without hesitation, let's get started and have a look at the cards we pulled for you. Okay, Pal 4, we have the Devil in reverse. We have the Nine of Swords. We have the Ace of Cups. We have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Page of Wands. We have the Page of Swords. We have the Nine of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Cups. And we have the Five of Wands. I did also pull an extra card for you. Everybody else got 8 tarot cards, but 2 came out together at the end, and I felt they both needed to be there, so that's why you've got one extra one, Pal 4. Okay, Pal 4, what did we say about addiction in the oracle reading? Because although, the Devil hasn't come up upright, which would indicate addiction of some kind, it's coming up in reverse. And I feel as though this is representative of your energy, because I think, the opportunities that could potentially head your way, you have already done the work to try and access those opportunities. You have done a lot of work to overcome adversity with this Nine of Swords. You could have been in a situation with somebody in the past that left you distraught, to be quite honest. It left you in despair. You could have battled a lot of mental health issues due to this person. This could even be like a toxic relationship cycle that you have chosen to end. With the Devil in reverse, I'm getting this idea of 2 people who keep getting back together even though they know they are bad for each other. They keep repeating the same patterns, they keep repeating the same cycles. They are stuck in like this trauma bond of some kind, and this could have been you and this past person. You might not have been good for each other, and this might be something that you are finally acknowledging. And instead of just being like, oh, we're going to argue and we're going to break up for like a week and then we're going to get back together, this is it. Like, I am done with this cycle. I am not dealing with it anymore. With this Nine of Swords, you have been pushed to the brink of collapse, and you are no longer willing to deal with this energy and get stuck in this toxic and potentially abusive cycle. This could be somebody who, like, they have been emotionally abusive to you, or you have been emotionally abusive towards each other at certain points in the relationship. Maybe this is somebody who you have had like an on-off thing with for a good while now, I would say. Maybe this has been like on and off for years. You always seem to return to each other because, like I say, you have this bond, like this trauma bond, but it is based on trauma. It is based on you and them having been stagnant, being unable to heal at certain points. And I think you are now recognizing that, you know, you have to draw a line under this. You and this person, if you're bad for each other, you want to move on without this person. You realize that it can never be more than this toxic situation, and you want to create more opportunities for yourself. You've reached a point where you don't want to be stuck in this cycle forever. Maybe this has been a big worry for you for a long time. You've thought, like, how can I possibly achieve the life I want if I'm stuck in this energy with this person? Like, it starts off good. When we get back together, it's always good for the first few weeks, and then it goes downhill, and then I'm in this emotional turmoil, and this is just not what I want for myself. And I think you are very much in the energy now of attracting more opportunities with this Ace of Cups and with this Ace of Pentacles particularly. With this Eight of Cups, it feels like maybe you have been quite paralyzed by the situation in the past. You have felt as though you've been trapped and victimized, and you're like, how will I escape these feelings? How will I escape this situation? When I get back with this person, it starts off good, and like we've said, it always ends up back in the same place of me feeling this Nine of Swords, of things going wrong. And there's been this real inability to leave, to walk away from this situation. It's like you felt trapped for a long time. There's been this stagnation. Maybe you've stayed with this past person in the past due to like a fear of change, but it's like you're now stepping out of this energy, you're walking away, you're moving on. And obviously, you know, like we said in the oracle, I don't think this past person likes that, because I think they haven't done their healing work. They haven't done the same sort of inner work that you've done in order to accept that, you know, this situationship or this relationship isn't serving either of you, or even a friendship for some people. You know, this could be a platonic friendship, but there are a lot of intense emotions here, and whatever situation it is, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a romantic interest, this feels like it's been a toxic situation. Like the two of you are no longer good for each other, but maybe you stayed stuck in this situation before because you feel as though, you know, this is just what's comfortable, it's what's familiar, it's what I know. But with this Eight of Cups, this is you sort of getting the courage to fully walk away. And I feel like with this, you're stepping into this more Ace of Cups energy, this more Ace of Pentacles energy. So this could be like, if you are interested in pursuing a new project, it doesn't even have to be another person. I do think a lot of other people are thinking of you. An Ace of Cups can sometimes symbolize, you know, new feelings. And with this Page of Wands as well, it's making me feel as though maybe you are stepping foot into the dating world again, and finding somebody else who you really connect with and who might be good for you, and going on new adventures in terms of trying different dates, doing fun things rather than just, you know, being stuck in this negative situation with this person who maybe previously wasn't willing to take you on dates and wasn't willing to, I'm getting like, be seen in public with you, but I don't know why, because you are very abundant. You are somebody who anybody would be very lucky to be seen in public with. But it's like maybe this person couldn't for whatever reason, or maybe you were always like stuck in the house with them doing the same thing, or just drinking, or just getting caught up in these addictions of some kind. And it's like with this Page of Wands, you are getting the opportunity to participate in so many new adventures, dating new people. But this could also refer to like a creative project or a business you are starting. Maybe you are focused on your career or your hobby or your passion. And with this Ace of Pentacles, it's like if you put a lot of effort into this and a lot of focus, you can achieve that material stability, and you can do something that you are really proud of. You can have this new opportunity for financial reward, but something with the Ace of Cups that's also going to be very emotionally fulfilling for you. It doesn't have to be another person. It can be, this can apply to a relationship, but it could just be that this is a message to, you know, if this past person who isn't good for you and who is thinking about you a lot, if they are sneaking back into your life, or they are trying to, this could be telling you to keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes focused on really what you want to achieve and the person you want to be and what will make you feel the most emotionally fulfilled. Because this person, it could be like a facade that they're putting up in order to get you back. I think like with this Five of Wands, it's like this person wants to compete for your attention. So, you know, if you are getting back out there into the dating world and you're connecting with other people and this is feeling fresh, it's feeling invigorating, it's feeling like, you know, something that could really be something that could be good. It's like this person suddenly wants to step in and compete for you, and they feel as though like they need to sneak or creep back into your life and try to get your attention again. And I think they've been thinking about the ways they can do this, because I think with the Nine of Swords, you have been in despair, but I think also this person has been thinking a lot about how they are in despair because they can feel that you are drifting away from them. They can feel themselves losing you, and they will do anything to try and pull that energy back. So with this Five of Wands, it's like, you know, if they see you with anyone else, if you're posting with anyone else, whether it be like a friendship or a relationship, they are getting incredibly jealous and they are wanting to come in and prove themselves to you, like offer to take you on dates, offer to do this for you. But I do think that it is a little bit of a facade, and it's just because they are so uncomfortable with the prospect of not having you all to themselves, of not being able to rely on you anymore, and it's making them deeply distressed. But that is because a lot of it is due to the fact they haven't done their own healing work, and you can't be their salvation. Like ultimately they have to save themselves. They can't rely on you as much as what they have done in the past. And I think they see anyone who's coming in and spending time with you, even just in a platonic capacity, they see that person as a rival. They see them as competition. They see them as somebody who they need to obliterate. They're getting quite angry at the fact you are spending time with other people, if that's something you are doing, and they want to come in and shut that down. They want to take you away from these people. They see these people as rivals. They just don't like you broadening your horizons and being around other people. And when we got the anticipation card in the oracle reading, like with this Page of Swords showing up, it's making me feel, you know, as though this person is very curious about you. They're thinking about what you are doing quite a lot. They're sort of dreading the day that you post a picture of you and the new person you're in a relationship with. And it's like maybe they don't have this full access to you. They can't find out what you're doing every minute of the day because they can't ask you that in a way that doesn't come across as weird. So they have a thirst for knowledge in terms of you, what you're up to, what you're doing this day, who you're seeing, who you're with. But it's like they can't fully ask you, but they might be very curious about you, and they might try and start a conversation with like the secret intention of finding out if you're in a new relationship or something like that, or if you're talking to anyone else. So it could start off very innocently. Like this could be the kind of person who says like, oh, so what have you been up to today? And you might say like, oh, I went to the cinema earlier. And then they will be like, oh, who did you go to the cinema with? So it's worded in a kind of innocent way, but really they're just trying to get all the knowledge that they can about you so they can figure out how to come in and to take you away from like this new rival, this new person that they're jealous of. They're sort of trying to just find out as much as they can about you without coming across as obsessive, even though they are a little bit obsessive and they're quite focused on like how to get you back in their life. I think they want to be seen as like nonchalant or very laid back, or like they're not thinking too deeply about it. Or they could have shown up to you in the vibe of like, oh yeah, like it's fine, we can just be friends. Like, honestly, it's okay. Like, I know we went through some shit in the past, but let's just be friends now. It's okay. We'll be totally platonic. But really, I think they have like an ulterior motive, and they could be coming to you like very innocently, like very, oh, how are you? How was your day? When really they still have these kind of secret desires to get you back, and they think that they could potentially win you over again if given enough time and enough opportunity. But I don't know if that's the thing that's going to be best for you. I feel like you are seeing that you have more opportunities. You have a life outside this person that is more available to you, more that could come your way. I think space from this person and your healing, the work you've put in, has done you a lot of good. And you've been able to see your prospects that don't just involve this person. I think with this Nine of Pentacles, this person is thinking about the fact that you have become a lot more independent. You know, maybe if you were kind of in this codependent or toxic relationship with this person, they're thinking that you've become more independent, more self-sufficient. You can go it alone now. You can do things on your own. They are seeing you as like more successful than them. And I think, again, this is something they are worried about. It's, you know, another thing that's making them in this Nine of Swords energy. They're worried about how independent you are. They're very concerned that you have forgotten about them or that you will never be willing to deal with them again. And I don't know if you will, and I don't think you should. You know, if you have made that decision to like not deal with this person because they were toxic or the two of you were toxic together, that is for a very good reason. And, you know, establishing this independence within yourself can only lead to more success and more opportunities. But I really don't think this person, I think it's something that they're very worried about. I don't think they like to see you being in this independent energy because they're like, oh, like, well, how will I get pile 4 back now? How will I get them back on side? If they have seen this situation for what it is, how can I turn it round so that, you know, they will be willing to engage with me and give me a chance again? Because I just don't know if you will. That is the overarching energy I'm getting for you, pile 4. We are just going to finish your reading by getting some advice from the Beach Time Soul Oracle. So please bear with me and we'll have a look at what we pulled for you, pile 4. Oh, okay. Okay, at pile 4, we have seduction, attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third-party interference. Okay, pile 4. So it could be that you are, you know, going about your life, enjoying yourself, dating, introducing yourself to new people, going out. There is attraction, there is flirting. Maybe you are just having fun, you know, after being in this difficult situation and this challenging mental energy for so long. Maybe you are interested in just seeing what's out there and having fun, whether that be in a romantic context or just generally. And it's like where it says temptation and where it says third party, it could be that, you know, you meet someone, there could be somebody thinking about you who is a lot more healthy for you than this past person. And, you know, you are getting along with this new person, you are seeing potential there, things are going well, you are dating. And then it could be that this past person tries to come in with a temptation and they could lure you in. Like we said just a few moments ago in the tarot reading, they could come at you quite innocently of like, well, we can be friends, can't we? But it's like this person has, from the past, I mean, this person has an ulterior motive. They might try to seduce you. They might be like, oh, come on, let's go out for a few friendly drinks. I promise nothing will happen. And then once you have a few drinks with this person, it's like they let their guard down and they then confess to you like, you know, I've never stopped thinking about you or something like that. And it's like, I feel as though they're only doing it because now they can't have you, because they are getting the sense, they are feeling as though you are happy with somebody else. They are anticipating that you are getting into this more healthy relationship with yourself and other people. And it's like they can't stand it. They need to try and pull you back. So then it's like they pull out the big guns by tempting you, by saying that they've changed, by saying, you know, that things will be different this time. And I don't think things will be different this time. I think things could be different for a period of time, because maybe this is the first time, you know, you've ever fully been independent from this person. Maybe it's the longest you've spent apart or something like that. So it could feel as though things might be different. But I don't think they will be, because this person is just seeing you as like their healing and their salvation, instead of being able to like fully work on themselves and what is lacking from them. So the advice I would give to you, the closing advice I would give to you, pile 4, is to not be seduced by this person's pretty words, by what they're saying they will offer you, because I think a lot of their actions in this moment just come from a place of fearing losing you, of worrying that you are moving on because you've been in this codependent situation for so long. I don't think it comes from a place of them being truly authentic with themselves and what they have to offer, because they are still very much in need of healing. But other than that, I would encourage you to have fun, go out, meet new people if that's what you want to do. There are a lot of people who are finding you very attractive, very seductive. They are seeing what you had to offer, maybe things that this other person didn't see, things they didn't appreciate when they had it. There are people out there who are willing to see these aspects of you and who are willing to give you more opportunities than what this past person has. That is what I am getting for you, pal 4. I really hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it resonated. If it did resonate, please let me know in the comments below. If you like my style of content and if you like these kind of readings, please give me a like, please comment, and if at all possible, please subscribe. That would all mean the absolute world to me and I would appreciate it so, so much. Thank you for listening, pal 4, and I'll see you in the next one.